spoon you know. If the children crying for starvation, just don't spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, don't spoon. You want to know what is happening, moreover, don't spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just don't spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, don't spoon. Don't spoon. Don't spoon. You from Vonjama, Maryland, don't spoon. Don't spoon. If you eat keep on graduate, my brother, don't spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, don't spoon. Don't spoon. Rastafari. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. What I want? Yes, man, you bad today. Spoon TV. Spoon. Yes, man, you bad today.
Okay, folks, I'd like to say welcome. What a way to welcome you to another edition of the program Spoon Talk. We're here tonight live on Spoon 107.5 FM. The program is live on Fabric Radio 101.1 FM and Super 95.5 FM. Spoon Talk is live online. Spoon TV Live. You can go on Facebook, Fabric TV Live, and of course, Super TV Live. We're also live on YouTube at Spoon Talk Live. We'd like to say welcome to Liberia's premier talk show on radio and online. My name is Nelson Colette. I'd like to welcome you to tonight's edition of the program Spoon Talk. And of course, let me now welcome Dr. Richardson to the program. Good evening, Dr. Richardson.
How are you doing, Nelson?
Yes, I'm doing good. And good to see you, Dr. Richardson.
You too. It's always good to see you. Once a week, I think I see you. How's everything at the studio?
Yeah, the station is doing good. At studio, everything is going well. Yeah, everything is going well.
How's your week?
Yeah, my week was good. It started off good, and I'm still moving. The fact that we can wake up and still go about our normal activities. Yes, so I mean, it's good.
Yeah. You know, the fact that we are awake and here today to speak to the Liberian people is a blessing. I mean, there's so many people who didn't get up this morning. So I like that you said that just the fact that I have life, I can breathe, I can move around, I can feel my toes. So that's exactly how I feel. Well, I want to say happy 4th to those of us who are on this side of the Atlantic Ocean in the United States.
Yeah.
Today is the 4th of July. Holiday in the country. All of our viewers who are on this side of the world, I want to wish you a happy 4th, and I hope you at a barbecue listening to the show. So I just also want to just welcome all of the other viewers that are in the other parts of the world as well. If you're in, Dubai, Liberia, you're in Europe, Canada, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you being here. You want to give us some trending news, Nelson? What's going on? And then I would individually welcome.
Yes. So lots of happiness in the country. So many things happening in Liberia. Well, I just like to start up with the okay, so I like to start up with the situation today. Talking about the case of the former Justice Minister, Councillor Gloria Musu-Scott. There was a situation today where Criminal Code A Judge Roosevelt Willie did giving a motion, in fact, to give Councillor Gloria Musu-Scott and the three other defendants, the three other members of a family, built in the ongoing murder case involving Charlo Musu.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so they didn't get a bill today. Of course, the judge at Criminal Code A denied that today. And yes, so there's been mixed reactions on that
Mm-hmm.
situation. So the case is still a developing one. I saw today uh, a group of women as well who were
Mm-hmm.
protesting
Mm-hmm.
at up Capitol Hill. They said they were protesting, calling for justice for Chalo Musu, the late. And
Mm-hmm.
so the case is still ongoing, but everything has been sent to the August term of court. So that's when this case will be heard. But what the defendant counsel actually wanted was for Councilor Gloria Musu's card and the three other members of her family to be released on bail, so that while they await the hearing, the actual hearing of the case in August or during the August term of court, but that was denied today. So that's one of the training issues here to talk about. And
Nelson,
yeah,
Nelson, thank you for that information. And you're right, the case is still unfolding, so there's not much you can say about it except report the facts from the court. Do you know why they denied Councilor Guerrero Mususcat and the other accusers from being released? I just do we know why? I'm just curious. Is she a danger or a risk or anything like that, or they don't want to?
no.
I'm curious.
So yeah. So what we gathered today is that the defendant counsel, that is the lawyers for Councilor Gloria Mususcat in this case, uh, they decided to come up with that so that Councilor Gloria Muzuka, based on her status and all of that, so she could be released on bail and all of that. And then they were using the Constitution. They said Article 21 of the Constitution,
Mhm.
um, and so forth. But then the basis on which it was denied is that a murder is a capital offense.
Okay.
And so if it were in other cases where maybe just minor offenses,
Sure.
somebody can be released on bail. But in the case of a murder, it becomes a difficult one because it's a capital offense.
Mhm.
So what we gathered today is that it was on that basis for which Judge Roosevelt Willie actually denied that bill, the
Good.
motion to have them released on bail.
That's good. Oh, okay. Good for sharing that with us. We'll learn more. Anything else, Nelson?
Yeah, so there are still a lot of other issues. Today, the president released an executive order. There was an
Mm.
executive order today.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it surfaced on the executive mansion website.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so this executive order, let me just, sometimes a gadget. Uh,
That's okay. Take our time. It's okay. We can wait for you.
yeah. So this executive order
Mm-hmm.
uh, was geared towards setting up a steering committee
Mm-hmm.
for uh, the new hydro that is said to be constructed, that is about to be constructed, uh, to be able to beef up the energy supplied in the country. So
Mm-hmm.
I want to get some of the names. Okay, so the president appointed. On the flip side, the president the appointed Eddie Williams as superintendent of Grand Bassa County today as well. The appointment is pending confirmation from the Senate. He has been serving as assistant superintendent in that county for over a decade.
Mm-hmm.
So he was finally appointed by the president today, and that appointment is awaiting confirmation from the Liberian Senate. But one thing we've seen in time past, Dr. Richardson, is that in some cases when people get appointed, And even after the Senate maybe reject those individuals, in very few cases, those people will act, and they will
Yeah.
keep acting. They will keep acting until it gets to that point where the president maybe is okay with their performance, or maybe he decides to send them somewhere else. But that's pending Senate confirmation. But this is all happening at a time when group of senators some weeks ago the made a disclosure that they will stand very
Mm-hmm.
firm against anything coming from the office of the president, especially in terms of bills and some of these appointments from now to the election. So we looking forward, and Liberians are looking forward to seeing how that goes, especially with us being just a few months to election. So I was talking about the yeah.
You
So
know, I'm actually reading along with you on the Executive Mansion's website. Uh,
yeah, just go back. Yeah,
Interestingly, he did make other appointments as well, but so
yeah.
that does speak to your case that is the legislature going to you know certify these guys who he guys these persons that he appointed, and also I'm curious, is Eddie Williams, what political party does he belong to? I wonder.
I understand he's from the CDC. I understand he's from the CDC. That's something that I will have to verify. But that's what I got at some point.
Yeah,
He's
I was
from
just curious. I was just curious. So his appointees have to be verified by the legislature. Okay, all right. Uh, Anything
so
else?
yeah. So on the flip side, the president also released executive order number 120.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was just talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Established a steering committee for the St. Paul Hydro Power Plant, and so that project, a steering committee is being set up. So um, the president in that line released executive order number 120, but that was yesterday, July 3, when he did that. But there has been a lot of discussions around it today.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, around that executive order, and Liberians get really concerned when it is something that has to do with what they will benefit from, especially talking about the construction of a new hydro, looking at how pressing how important, in fact, the issue of electricity is for the country, and how struggling the situation is for us right now. So
Mm-hmm.
that's something that Liberians have been very engaged and very much concerned about talking about as well.
Yeah. Nelson, I don't know if it's my internet, but I just went on the Executive Mansion's website to pull that executive order up. It's executive order 120. Is that what it is? It's not coming up for me.
Yeah, executive order number 120.
Okay,
You know,
interesting.
sometimes the websites sometimes they have some technical issues as well, and that's the other thing. Sometimes there's this technical issue that
Yeah,
uh
that's okay. I believe what you say. I just want to, as usual, as always, and I really respect and thankful for what you say. It's just that I like to read along sometimes, and I wanted to know more about this executive order in terms
yeah.
of where is it, who the number of people it's going to serve in Morovia, how long is it going to take to be built, how much does it cost,
You're
you
talking
know
about the hydro,
yeah, the one he's the one that he just written as
set
executive
up the steering committee
order.
for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So there's a whole technical detail of of that that particular project. Yeah, there's a whole
There is,
detail.
that is in the executive order that I can't find.
Come again, that the reaches in the internet.
Is it in the executive order that I can't find? The one on, you said there's some specification, like the tech specification
No,
somewhere.
no, no, it's not really in the executive order. what the executive order captures is basically the project, the location, and what this particular steering committee is expected to do. But then on the flip side, there is a whole technical details. Like I was uh, I was on a website. I'll get that before maybe sometime in the show. Maybe I'll forward that to you, where I
Okay.
saw some more details, some technical details on that particular hydro, the project itself. It's actually called the Reservoir Storage Unit Generating Project. Yeah, so that's it's gonna be built on the St. Paul River. So it's called the St. Paul Hydro Power Plant. And so right now we have the Mount Coffee. The Mount Coffee is the one that we're using.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, that hydro right now is operating below its full capacity because of how long it's been there. In fact, the demand it does not have the a capacity to even meet the current demand of electricity in the country and so forth. So yeah,
And, and
this
and
is
again, I'm
coming to
just going to throw out this question, Nelson, like I usually do. Is so in the year 2023, we're still looking at depending on our hydro system to provide energy for us. Other parts of the world they are now using solar panel, they're using windmills and stuff like that. So it's interesting that this is what we're using. I'm just thinking out loud, but okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so quite recently there was an elaborate press conference held by the LEC chairman and CEO, Mr. Monique Katan.
Mm-hmm.
And it was during that time that he made the official disclosure about this particular project. And as part of what he talked about when I followed that press conference, he
Mm-hmm.
said that the aside from this hydro, there is
Mm-hmm.
also a solar plant that they are constructing that's part of this entire project. There's
Good.
also
Okay,
aspect
cool.
that's going to deal with ensure the construction of a solar plant that will also help in that line, since in fact
That's,
there are
that makes
challenges.
me that makes me feel a little better
Yeah,
because we have sunlight galore in Liberia, so we can use that. Mm-hmm.
yeah. And interestingly, it was okay on the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
While at office, there was this lady who worked at the station here, and she said that in fact her name is Diamond Bwakai. And then she said that God revealed a special message for her to her for the country, that yes, God is angry with the country. And sometimes when we come across people with these kinds of messages, it sometimes takes our mind back when people had a lot of prophecies and everything. And sometimes it depends on the side of the table you sit, whether you believe in it or not. But she said that God revealed a special message to her about the country, and that God is angry with Liberia, and the blood of innocent people are crying up to him too much, and so something mysterious is gonna happen. Um, and I was curious, so I asked her as to whether it is about the election. She said no, it's not about the election. It's gonna happen sooner than we think. It's gonna happen for 3 days. It's gonna happen before the election. It is not about the election. Yeah, but that's something that's gonna happen. And so yes, eh, and that's what. But not just how there was another a religious man who came up with a similar thing. So it depends on where one sits, but those are things that are coming up as well as we move on. I think it's part of the some of the training issues. And she said when they got the message, they decided to keep it to themselves, but they were warned that they shouldn't keep it to themselves. So so maybe I too, who interviewed them, I shouldn't keep it to myself.
Yeah, yeah. Journalists, you shouldn't keep the message to yourself. You gotta tell the world. But when I grew up in Liberia, Mother Dukley was a very popular religious leader in the country, and I don't know if you guys are still doing it, but Sunday when I was growing up, there was all religious programs, and Mother Dukley was on the radio at that time, and she would make couple. She had a couple of visions. I used to call it, like, she would make a couple of things that she saw for the country. Um, some people believe that she predicted the coup, the coup that we had. So this is an ongoing
Yeah.
practice in our country, that people tend to get messages from God or from a superpower, and we'll document that as part of our experience in Liberia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else, Nelson? Before we move on to our panelists.
I think that is that for now, Dr. Richardson.
Okay, we are going to move on to the panelists, and I'm going to spend some time welcoming our viewers individually to the show. But today, we are having, just give me 1 second. We're going to have Ambula Mame is going to be joining us. And we are going to also have Mr. Johnny DB from the Clarence Monobak team will also be joining us. Yes, so they will be joining us, viewers. Please welcome them as I would welcome them. And of course, Mr. Amula Mame, it is my understanding that he's from the ANC team. So help bring them back. I see Daniel, Mr. Sandu is also in the back. Please bring them in front, and they can help me welcome our viewers. Welcome, Mr. DB. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. It sounds like the N is silent. DB? No.
Thank you. My name is Ndebe, Johnny.
Ndebe. Oh, thank you, Ndebe, Mr. Ndebe. Thank you so much. Welcome to Spoon. I know this is your first appearance. I'm sure you're going to join us, and it's going to work out well for all of us here. Our goal is to provide information to the Liberian people. So viewers, please help me welcome Mr. Ndebe to the program. It is my understanding that he is from the Clarence Monobak camp. And right, am I right? Okay, great. And so thanks for joining us. I look forward to working with you. Mr. Sano, how are you?
I'm doing great.
That's good.
It's been a while.
Yeah, I don't know where you've been traveling to, but the last time you're in Bassa, I don't know this time which part of the country you've been traveling to.
I didn't get your question.
I said the last time when you were gone, you said you were in Bassa. So this time around, I'm wondering which part of Liberia you are traveling to.
Oh, so we just been busy with when we came from Bassa the week before last. Been busy with some organizations on the fundraiser that was held on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
That fundraiser, and we just been between one meeting, planning, strategizing, and having media engagements on our platform.
Okay.
But I miss the conversation here so much. That's what I'm here tonight to continue from where we stop.
Yeah, it's good to have you back. So I'm going to ask you guys to just join me. Let's welcome a few of our viewers as the rest of the panelists kind of come in. They probably, today I was going to say they're coming from work, but today maybe some people work today. In this part of the world, holidays you can work. So you guys let's start, Mr. Diddy. Your first assignment here will be to help me welcome the viewers. Can you see them on your screen?
Yes, I see a few of them, but let me say thank you to the Spoon family for allowing us to be on the show. And we hope we have the time to always be present to contribute to the national discourse. So let me join you to welcome and appreciate our viewers. I see Black Duke, Maurice Ziaga, James Yeager, Gabriel Rapu, Justino Jojo, Lemio Tewa, Vovo Power, Fomba Sise, Josh Watkins, David Booker, and Elondo Esiloba, Andrew Sasese, Moses, Sekou Tele, James Dine, Desmond Barry, Lincoln Morba, Dominic Trocon, Francis Chabate, Dennis Nagwe, Patrick Spencer, Bima, Kiazulu Moose, Amos Canley, Bill T. Bill, Na Gordon, Ama B. Collins.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. You did great. You kept up with the list. Mr. Sonny, you want to help me? And then I'll go last as we wait for our panelists to roll in. In fact, we'll get started once once I'm finished. Just pick from anywhere. It doesn't matter if you said them before.
Sure, why not? Sure, why not? So I will begin by welcoming Nuri Nixon Nimblin, watching from Australia. Tony Lofabor Lindy, watching you live from Bangabong County. Travis Bashu, watching from Sukuya River, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, USA. Shepherd, every day.
Oops, we lost Mr. Sano for a little bit. Actually, there was a delay in his presence for a while. Okay, I'll pick that up until he gets back. I want to welcome Angeline Peters. Thank you for being here, Angeline. I also want to go to Thomas Z. Moyala. Thank you for joining us. Roland Trubel is watching us from Painesville, Liberia. Rebecca Cover is also watching. Jones Queen is watching. Ruben Bo is watching from the SD Cooper Road, Liberia. All of you guys who are watching and viewing us on SD Cooper Road, thank you so much for joining Spoon Talk. Mavena Tier is also watching. Happy 4th of July to you as well. Felicia Wenger is watching. Kamo Fofana is watching from Philadelphia. Happy 4th of July to you too. Eden Moore is watching from the UAE, Dubai. Every time we get somebody from places like Dubai, I feel like I should be traveling right now. But thank you for joining us, and all of the Liberians and passionate lovers of Liberia who are in Dubai. Thank you very much. Sekou Sheriff is at Red Light Bob Taylor Road. Red Light Bob Taylor Road, Sekou Sheriff, and all of you guys who are at Red Light Bob Taylor Road. Thank you for joining us. Continue to join us. We won't disappoint you today. Non Dolo is here. She says hello to everybody. Non Dolo, thank you so much. Hold on. No, this thing is going so fast. Angeline Garda is also here. Ansu Dukle is here. Ansu from Minnesota. Thank you for joining us. Andrew Vinga is watching from Dupont Road. All of you, Andrew, who's at Dupont Road, thank you for being here. Lawrence Gay is also watching from Rehab Corner. Thank you for joining us. Call Gloria Foka Mulba says hello. How you doing, Miss Mulba? It's always good to see you. Harris Balima is here. Harris is watching us today. Thank you for joining us. Ivan P. is from South Dakota. It's good to have you here. Samuel Johnson is from Dakota also. Thank you for joining us. So we're going to begin the program as other panelists will roll in as well. I did see someone in the back briefly. Did I just see Mr. I saw Ambula, I think. Was he in the back?
Yeah, he came in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I knew that. So okay. All right. So we're going to start. There's a few things that are on my mind today that we're going to be talking about. Our topic is going to be, surrounding the rent issue with the United Party that has been reported. So we're going to talk about that. That's in the news. I'm sure you love that topic, Daniel, don't you? we have to talk about it. And then we're also going to talk about the president's trip to Israel. We talked about this a little bit, but we have we want to hear your perspective on that, Daniel and Mr. DB. And then we also want to talk about the budget. The budget was reinstated. There was it was decreased. Some things they say were decreased as well. So I want to get your take on what you think about the budget. The Liberians need to know how the money is being spent. So let's talk about that as well. Anything else, which is where we're going to start from? Just give me 2 minutes of your time. We're growing as a family. So you guys give your friend chance to talk. You don't kind and just talk here, okay? So let's be mindful that we're growing and give your friend chance to talk. Let's start, Mr. DB. Mr. DB, you want to tell us, maybe you can even tell the viewers a little bit about yourself and then tell us what's on your mind.
Yeah, so thank you. So let me also again give thanks to the Spoon family for allowing us to be here to be able to help in increasing the information to Liberian people regarding the politics of Liberia and moving forward to October 2023. I'm here from the Liberia National Union. That's the Money Back Ban ticket for 2023. And this ticket is about generational leadership. The young people of Liberia need to be at the table, and they need to have the voice, not just there, but the voice at the table. And so I'm Johnny Ndebe. I'm from Lofa. I'm a graduate of the University of Liberia. I grew up in Bond Mines, and I've been involved with working with local community leaders. I've been working around for the last 15 years across the 15 counties of Liberia. I hope that my expertise, my experience, and the level of information I know about Liberia can be unfolded here, and can help to increase the information that we'll be sending out to the Liberian people. But let me say to you, I'm here actually to tell Liberian people that the Money Back Ban ticket should be a priority ticket for Liberian people.
Thank you, Mr. DB. I grew up in Bond Mines. I don't know if we were there during this same time, but we have a saying in the Bunk Education Alumni Association, which is coming up in the next 2 weeks. I'm actually hosting it in my neighborhood. We always say, good things come from Bond Mines. So I'm sure you're going to live up to all good things come from Bond Mines. So if you Bond Miners, if you watch, and people who grew up in Bond Mines, please help me welcome Mr. DB. Mr. Sano, you want to share what's on your mind? You enjoying that tea there? We can't hear you, Mr. Sano. Please unmute yourself.
A lot is lingering in my mind, but I would just want to use the limited time that I have to appreciate supporters of the rescue mission who graced a fundraiser that was held on the 2nd of July at the Farmington Hotel. I think to a greater extent, the event was successful. We anticipated raising a little in the tune of 100,000. We are being informed by the committee that we have exceeded our expectation, which is good. Concerned citizens, supporters of the rescue mission are still calling to make donations to the fundraising rally, even though it has passed, but it's still open. Somebody asked me, what is the importance of this? Politics is such that when you get carried away by the narrative, the intellectual engagement, the policy debate, when you get too consumed into it and you tend to forget about the technical aspect of the campaign, and then election gets stolen, not on election day, because in the end you will not have the vote monitoring mechanism to kind of challenge whatever figure will be put out by the Elections Commission. So we at the rescue mission, we have placed high premium on the vote monitoring process of the campaign, the elections. And that's why we are raising 3 million to support the pool washers, the efforts of the pool washers from the technical team of the rescue mission. I think it is very good because if we can have a tactical team that we deployed on election day to give us our result 3 to 5 hours after countings are concluded, then we know very well that we are on the winning path. So we just like to appreciate everybody. There are a lot of donors. The LP USA made tremendous contribution. They contributed, I think, in the tune of 3.
Daniel, we
Unity
lost
Party,
you for a second.
Diaspora Chapter also contributed.
We lost you for a second. You said who?
You getting me?
Now we're getting you, but we lost you. You said the LP USA contributed how much? Amen. Amen. We lost Daniel. He'll probably be back. Well, Mr. DB, you and I here now. So we're hearing about the successful fundraiser that was held by the Unity Party. So I hope you will come back and let us know, finish his thought on that. Okay, good. You here. I was asking because you are calling for figures, like, and the strong support that you receive from the diaspora community, that's my interest as well. So I was asking you, how much did you say again before we move on?
I was specific. I said Liberty Party USA made tremendous contribution in the tune of 3,500 USD. The Unity Party diaspora leadership also made contribution. There are other Liberians who have requested that we conceal their identity. They also contributed to that effort. And the fundraiser was open. It is still open for any Liberian who is supportive of the rescue mission to come in and make a contribution, because the campaign is a people's campaign. When a political effort is being supported by the people, then you know that the end result will be positive. So we just want to use this moment to appreciate all our people who continue to contribute to the rescue mission. Lastly, I just want to say a big congratulations to all those who were named on the campaign team. I think so far that's the biggest campaign team for the 2023 presidential elections we've heard so far. Because when you look at the individuals, that were named on that team,
you have 2 minutes.
War for experience.
Mr. Sano, are you hearing me?
They come with war for experience.
Mr. Sano,
and political aspect. Yes,
like
yes.
We're having some. You got 2 minutes.
I'm hearing you.
Yeah, please. Let's speed it up a little.
I'm getting you.
Yeah, good. So I'm asking you that just to make it short, because
2 minutes.
Yeah, you are exceeding your time.
Yeah. So I was saying that the composition of the campaign.
Okay, so I'm sorry, Mr. Amula Mame, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly.
Correct.
I want to welcome you to Spoon Talk. It is also your first appearance, as I think I remember. You're here joining us with Mr. DB and Mr. Daniel Sano today. I understand that you're representing the ANC party, political party. Am I correct on
that? You referring to me?
Yes, that's what the text, like I said, you are representing.
No, it's not the ANC. It's the Liberian People Party of Councillor Congo.
Oh, okay, Liberian. Okay, jeez. Okay, Thank you for the correction. I got a text saying that was ANC, and okay, good. So, we're starting the show. Can you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm Ambula Mame, originally from Liberia. I went to school, grew up in Liberia, came to the US
study development, agriculture development. I work in the field of agriculture development, international development. I'm the co-manager of the USAID largest productive safety net project in Africa, specifically sub-Saharan Africa. That's the SPEAR program in Ethiopia, and also serve in other capacities working in rural areas to transform agriculture for rural communities. So that's a little bit about me. I join and support Councillor Gonglo for president. I think it is important that we bring integrity to governance. I think it is important that we bring people who have track record of solving our country's most perennial and strongest problem that we confront, which is corruption and governance. So I support Councillor Gonglo, and my presence on the show will be to add to the already existing conversation around the transformation of our country towards 2023 and how Gonglo offers or presents the best opportunity for Liberia at the moment.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Daniel Sano, I want to give you, Mr. Sano, I want to give you a moment to just maybe in 30 seconds tell us, wrap it up, because you got disconnected. It appears that you're having internet problems today. Can you just use 30 seconds to finish wrapping up your thoughts?
Sometimes it is that way in Miami. That's Liberia for you. But let me say good evening to Abdullah Mame, who's been around for a very long time. He's a very good friend of mine. So as I was saying, the composition of the campaign team cannot be matched with any that have been announced so far from the camp of other political opponents. I think unlike other campaign teams, this campaign team comes with wealth of political expertise and experience that are needed to win an election. Majority of the people in the committee are people who know how to win elections. And so it is good. It is good that we have a campaign team that will not be scratching its heads when they...
Okay, we'll try to manage this conversation here, but I want to just go straight into our topic for the night. And I'm also going to ask Mr. Sano. I have not verified this information, but I did notice that people felt like there weren't any Muslim included on the campaign team. Maybe he could have. When he comes back, he can answer that question for us. But that was one of the things somebody just said that to me in passing, and I said I would check with representatives on the show. So I'm just putting it out there. Daniel Sano, if you're hearing that, when you come back, you can include that in your response. But let's go back to the topic that we are going to be discussing tonight. There's three things that I would like to discuss. And they're in the news. Liberians are speaking about it. One is the possible risk of former Vice President Boga being arrested, for not paying rent or paying his debts at the former Unity Party's headquarters. The second one is the president trip. We talked about that extensively yesterday, but I'd like to hear your views on that. And the third one is also the budget. The budget of Liberia was reinstated. I believe it was today. There were some changes made, specifically the PSIP, which is the Public Sector Investment Program, which is a part of the money that the president uses at his discretion. Okay, they said that money was decreased from 150 million to 146 million as part of them reinstating the budget. So I want to hear your views and your thoughts later on when we get to that topic. So I don't know if Daniel is still in the background or whatever. So let's start a conversation. We'll start with you, Mr. DB, because you came in first. Tell us a little bit, what are your thoughts on this whole issues, this saga going on with the Unity Party and them not paying their rent to the McLean's family?
So actually, I wouldn't want to discuss somebody's private, activity. I mean, paying rent for where you stay and where your family will stay It's actually up to you as the head of the family, as head of your institution. So I don't see why we should be discussing whether Unity Party is paying rent for where they stay, what they use as an office. I think the Liberian people want to know more about. I mean, we have like 96 more days to election. So I would think that we should discuss more about what the current tickets we have heard about have to offer Liberian people. So, I mean, not that Francie, I don't really want to, I don't have interest in discussing somebody paying rent for their home or not. I don't think that is important to Liberian people. I don't think that is important to even to my team. We are looking at what Liberian people want right now. The Liberian people are in need of leadership that will begin to address their problems, that will begin to respond to their living condition, their education, their health, their security, their basic infrastructure activities. So I think we should really discuss the agenda and see that we should get removed discussing Unity Party, or not paying rent for the office, they said the race of being arrested or sue. I don't think we should have interest in discussing that actually.
Mr. DB, I want to hold you on that a little bit because I want to slightly disagree with you. And my disagreement is that leadership is being responsible and accountable to people that you owe your debt to. And how you pay your debt, how you live your life might be reflective of someone who claimed to be a leader in waiting. So that's why it is on our agenda today to discuss. But I respect your decision. We're going to move on to Daniel Sano, and then we're going to move on to Mr. Mame. Daniel Sano, you can tell us more. And I had a question for you when you were in the background, and this was just in passing. Include that in your question as well. I heard, and I didn't verify this information, that there is not a Muslim person on the current Unity Party team that was just like a campaign team. So somebody just told me that, so I would ask Mr. Sano when I see him on the show. And then secondly, you can share more light about this whole Unity Party information with the rent that we hear in the news.
Well, I have no doubt that Ambassador Boakai is the most scrutinized presidential candidate in this race because he's the one who's going to win. So everybody's concerned about Omen Boakai. Even if he slinces tomorrow morning, Front Page Africa will report that he was hospitalized, he fall down with stroke, and will say the worst about him. So we're not surprised by that. But here's what I want to say. The composition of the campaign team and additional members will be announced latest Monday moving forward. The team is going to be very decentralized. It's a very huge team. What we announced on Sunday is just a core team.
Okay.
To the argument that there was no Muslim representation, I think it just speaks to the extent to which people try to tear everything about Unity Party and Joseph Boakai down. Because Professor Alari Tukpa is a Muslim, Senator Boto Kane is a Muslim, but I don't think these are things I would be saying on the radio. Who is a Muslim, who is a Christian? When I come here and attack somebody ethnicity, somebody will say, oh, divisive. That's very divisive. But here we are being asked questions, who is a Muslim on the campaign team? So for your answer, Dr. Richardson, the campaign team is a reflection of the broader geographical spectrum of Liberia. Ethnicity is considered. Religious affiliation is also considered. So yes, even the initial team that was announced on Sunday comprises of decent Muslim brothers and sisters. That being said,
Amen. I'm going to give him a minute or so, or maybe 30 seconds and see. Okay. All right. Mr. Mame, any thoughts on this matter?
Yeah, I tend to disagree with Johnny about not discussing a critical issue. If Vice President Boakai was a private citizen and not paying his rent, or if Amola, a private citizen not paying my rent, that wouldn't be an issue on the newspaper or in the news. It's being discussed now because it's not about Vice President Boakai, it's about a political party that wants power.
Can I conclude?
Yes, I think
no. We'll come back to you. We'll come back to you. Go ahead, Mr. Mame.
It's about a political party that seeks power to manage the natural and financial resources of all of us. So it's become important when a political party who intends to take power and manage resources has been in the news for more than a year now about meeting its financial obligation. So if you cannot meet your financial obligation for over a year now, and that's normal issue, but how can you not manage the situation of not managing your financial obligation to get to the press and get to the court, and there is a court judgment, and the judgment cannot be honored? Because as I read the newspaper, my interpretation is there was a court hearing, there was a court judgment, and that judgment has not been honored. So it raises question about financial responsibility. It raises question about property. It raises question about ability to manage. So it is good that the Unity Party people will be on the show to talk about how they intend to address this issue. But I'm concerned. I'm concerned because Joseph Boakai is a potential president. He's a potential president because he's one of the forerunners for the presidency. And if for more than 1 year, his political party struggles to meet its financial, everybody can get broke, everybody can have financial difficulties, everybody can have problems. That's a normal thing that happens. I even saw the other time CDC have our own crisis with rental issues. Personally, we have those issues. But the management of those issues, the management of those challenges is what I'm questioning. That over 2 years, you cannot meet a settlement with your landlord, it becomes an issue of concern. And we shouldn't sweep it under the carpet and say, no, it's a private issue. It's not a private issue. It's a management issue of a political party that wants to take state power and asking us to submit our natural resources and everything we have in the country to their management.
Thank you.
And if we start to see things like this, it's a room, it's a call for concern.
Thank you, Mr. Mame. We're going to go to Mr. Sano to complete his thoughts on this matter. You are saying something, Mr. Sano? We want to do that? Yeah, the internet really bad in Miami to do.
Yeah.
So Sano is out.
Yeah, so ask Mr. TV, did you want to say anything? Let him check here. Okay, good. Go ahead, Mr. TV.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Much better and perfect.
Okay, so I'm talking about the Unity Party being unable or being challenged with paying their rent for the office space. The media has it. It's already in the media. It's already in the public space. So Liberian people will read the paper, they will hear in the news, they will hear from the print and electronic media. And if we want to discuss, are we going to discuss that looking at which party is paying rent or which party is staying on its own property? You understand? So, if Unity Party is unable to pay their rent and the property owner has taken them to court, they will go to court and address the issue there. But I'm just saying to Liberian people that the media will inform us about everyone's activity. Right now, all the political parties are in the media space, are in the public space. And they are following everybody's activity, whether you are paying rent for your home, or even you have a means to buy gas for your vehicle to take you up to campaign or go for a visit. But I'm saying, I don't think the Liberian people are actually interested in political party not being able to buy gas or not being able to pay for that rent. You know, I understand if you can't pay for rent, if you can't buy gas for your car, does that necessarily mean that you are unable to manage your state? Or we should be looking at how prepared are these teams or are these candidates to start addressing the problems of Liberia? No, Liberia is in dying need of leadership. So coming as low as discussing somebody not being able to pay their rent, I would not want to discuss that. I want to save my energy to discuss more about how I'm ready to tell Liberian people that the Monima and Grace Plan are prepared. They are the preferred and the most prepared ticket for Liberian people immediately as of October 10 election results are being announced. So yeah, I mean, that court case can go on for the next 6 months, 3 months as to whether they will throw UP out of their bidding or find another place to stay. That's their business. 11 day and Liberian people, they will be judging them for what they are doing. But I'm here to discuss the substance of why Monima and PAN have come together and why they are here to tell Liberian people that we are about to have a new Liberia. A new Liberia where young people will be taken from the street immediately and find a place to go where they will be trained into good Liberians, good Africans, good citizens of the world, that Liberian people will be imparting the world into various skills and professions. So I want to just let everyone know that, yeah, I agree. You can have problem with your UP. UP is a party that Liberian people are discussing. They want to know whether UP is able to pay rent. But the media will help the Liberian people. What's going on?
Thank you. I just wanted to be clear that it's not about paying rent. Just paying rent. It's not about buying.
Can I make my point?
No, you're gonna wait until I'm done. It's not about not borrowing money to pay your gas. This is about, as Mr. Mamis said, and I'm saying, it is about the political party that is going to be supposedly interested in taking over state power, not following the law, not following the court case, the judgment of the judge, and also not living up to their standards of the requirement that was given to them to pay. So how don't you see any relationship or the possibility that there could be a relationship between them not paying their rent and possibly running our money in the government, creating a budget for us? Do you not see that, Mr. DB?
Okay, so now you are making the discussion clearer. Are you saying that the court has passed a ruling into this matter?
Yes.
And the Unity Party is refusing to abide by the court's ruling?
Yes.
So if that's the case, then
for me, it's not like refusing, but have not lived up to. So probably they could say why they have not.
Okay, so now we want to discuss why are they not? Why have they not agreed or have they not lived by the ruling of the court? Right? Okay, so if that's the case, then fine. Then we can discuss that, and I'm prepared to discuss that. That's a rule of law issue, because every Liberian must be prepared or must make sure that they respect the ruling of the court. Whether it's in your favor or against you, you must respect the ruling of the court. So if the Union Party went to court and they were found liable for the Civil Act and they have to pay, and the court has ruled that they do certain things, they must abide by this court ruling and ensure that the ruling is upheld. If they don't, they are just telling Liberian people that there will not be a government that will follow the rules of the state. And there will not be a government that will rule by the rule of law.
I want to welcome Stanton to the show. Thank you for joining us. I'm just going to let Mr. Sano finish his thought before he got left, and then you probably chime in on this topic. Go ahead, Mr. Sano.
So as I was making my point before I was disrupted by the poor internet connectivity. Stanton, how are you?
What's up?
I tend to agree with Debbie when he said, ask you, the moderator, a fundamental question to say, how has the Unity Party indebtedness to a private citizen become the subject of a national conversation? And I was also concerned, but again, the answer is, once it has to do with Joseph Boakai, it will be scrutinized at all levels, because Boakai is the most attractive fruit on the tree. Everybody want to get a Boakai. somebody who is reading the front page headline of today, somewhere around the world would think that Boubacar is already in jail. Because as of Monday, he and his people will be incarcerated for not abiding by some court order. You know, this is not fair. This is yellow journalism. It is sensationalism. It's against media ethics to create a headline that is by far detached from the content of the story. But that's another conversation for another day. What I do appreciate about the Unity Party is that, unlike the CDC, they didn't steal taxpayer money to build gigantic structures at the party headquarters. No. We all in Liberia know how political parties survive, struggle to survive. Most political parties survive on the pockets of few individuals in the party. Political parties in Liberia are not money-making entities. So for a political party that has been in opposition for the last 6 years to be confronted with indebtedness, it shouldn't be strange. My own Liberty Party, do you know why we're thrown out of the headquarters at Caddy Junction? It's because our debt went almost to $90,000. And the people said they didn't want to further negotiate with us. They asked us to leave the building. It would level for another building. How the lawyer reached out to the people to do a payment plan for the party to pay, that was another issue. So why is the McLean family not interested in getting the money that is being owed by the Unity Party? But they are more interested in publication of sensational headlines that will make it to seem that Boubacar is already in a yellow jumpsuit behind bars at Morava Central Prison. For me, it is absolutely non-essential to the conversation, because that Unity Party owes the McLean family does not impede Ambassador Boubacar's ability to provide leadership for this country. That the Unity Party is indebted to the landlord does not in any way affect the ability of Mr. Boubacar to defeat George Weah at the polls. Why we should not be discussing how we can market our respective candidates on this platform to attract the support of the Liberian people, home and abroad, so that we can garner the support and win the election at the ballot box. Because I do believe that everybody who is contesting this election, including Mr. Cummings, we have a common enemy. And that enemy is George Weah. I say enemy not in a negative sense. He's our common opponent. And we're all supposed to be working to get George Weah out of power. That's why it is key for us to have a conversation that is more issue-centered. If the Unity Party decides to pay Mr. McLean today, who benefits? It is the McLean family. So why should we waste our precious time on a well-monitored platform to elevate a private suit between two individuals or one individual and one party? For me, it's absolutely not essential. The Unity Party have distinguished himself. In 2017, the CDC was chased with rent issue. The Miami Tech, they were taken to court. They were almost evicted from the headquarters. Today, the CDC won the election in 2017. They own the whole compound today. That compound is owned by the Bernard. I'm sure by the time George Weah says year ends, that property will belong to the CDC because they have bought it. They build new structures in the fence and everything. Unlike the CDC, the United Party didn't do so, which for me was very selfless. And we should be commending them for them to have presided over state resources for 12 years. They didn't buy party headquarters. They didn't buy Janjande building to rent as party headquarters.
Let me bring in.
That's selflessness. So whether Ambassador Boubacar Unity Party is indebted to the party or not,
let me bring in. Mr. Sanders, let me bring in Stanton, and I want it to be clear. It's not about a private situation that is occurring between the McLean family and Unity Party.
It's a private suit.
Okay, so this is about the reflection that it has on the Unity Party not following the court rule and not living up to their debts. Okay, it is this
has Benedict paid a role for him?
I'm speaking about Unity Party right now.
Wait,
we
Mr.
can
Sando,
Go ahead.
wait. I mean, this moderator is kind of like hard tonight,
Okay.
so be patient, Mr. Sando. But let's welcome Johnny, Nibi, and Abdullah, my mate. Gentlemen, you guys got to put your party name, logo, something somewhere, because I don't know who's, right? I mean, if you're from Jowea Party, Johnny, I heard you from Jowea Party, then put Jowea Party. Abdullah, if you're a former sedition, put former sedition, we'll take it. But just put something. Let's recognize you by your party affiliation. All right? I want to say you guys welcome to the show. But where is Daniel Sando? He ran away again? Listen, folks.
He says Sonny have
Dr. Richardson, I agree with you. And I think Daniel will get mad with me on this one. 12 years they were in power and they still owe the family, the McLean family. 12 years. I'm not putting this on JMB, no. But I think JMB got something to do with this also. Because JMB served as a VP next to the highest. And folks need to understand this. Right, Dr. Richardson? Even if Madam Salif couldn't pay that, buy the place and lease it for 25 years, JMB at least. Unity Party. Oh no, what's the guy name? Tapet? What's his name? The former chairman. Unity Party, Honor Amin Modal. Unity Party, Women Pay. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Unity Party, Honor Amin Modal. Unity Party, Honor Mo Ali. Maybe that's why Mo Ali ran away from the show today. I guarantee you, that's why he ran away from the show today. They all should be held responsible for what happening to Unity Party. What is Gafwan? Where is the other gentleman that running in Babalu today? What's his name? Oh, come on, Daniel, help me out with the guy's name. Conan. These guys got money. They got money, folks. Be not deceived. Where is my own dear friend, the minister himself, defense minister, Samuka? 12 years. You don't talk. No, my man. Listen. That's a disgrace to the party. And I wish Mo Ali I wish he was here today. That's a disgrace to the party. A responsible party take care of the home. Like a responsible gentleman will take care of his family. Not a deadbeat. In Unity Party, they will get mad at me today. But I think this thing, I'm not saying JMB going to go to jail. I don't believe in running CA. No. I'm not saying they're going to arrest him. I don't believe in running CA when it comes to that. But I think Unity Party dropped the ball. And they're trying to do a catch up, Dr. Richardson. Anything Daniel Sano will say today, he's not a Unity partisan. He's a Joseph Yima Boyka supporter. We will go and dig into Liberty Party because they ate the small fish after they saw it. We can explain that later. But what we are saying, Unity Party dropped the ball. And to all my fellow, you're laughing, Daniel, I'm not on your side today. And to all my fellow Liberians, a responsible party will not operate that way. Put the blame on Madam Salif. But who was number two? JMB was number two. He should have missed, let's say, he was next in line. Right, Johnny? This man was next in line. Abula, JMB was right there. There's no way JMB couldn't say, "Mamela, pay these people off, madam." Or let lease a place for 50 years. Yeah, man, please, talk to me. Talk to me, Dr.
Or even build your own political party.
Build your own political party. Eh? So when somebody come by and say, I beg you, Johnny, let me end on this one, Johnny. I beg you 1 minute. When somebody come out and say, Dr. Richardson, I built Unity Party all with $65,000, somebody said that they built Unity Party all when they were about to kick them out, right? The messages all around there. Let's be frank. Unity Party gets some rich guys. Someone Governor is poor.
Did you raise $100,000, right?
Imagine. They can't take it. Daniel Sano, why they pour money? Come on, man. Let's do our handle. Let's go.
You know, There's a coincidence. There's a coincidence. I wanted to show.
Let me I may finish and then you come in, and then of course
there's a coincidence I wanted to show. You know, in Liberia, they say when you owe your landlord, don't cook good food or dress well.
Hey, they mean that you get money.
They think you get money. So as soon as you organize a birthday party, they put some money.
Listen. Your first day on the show, you have given the right parable. The people that are having the money, they refuse to pay the people. So now you only raise over 1,000. The people say, "Wow, money." We're gonna love. That's what you're laughing for. That's the truth.
Yeah, Mr. Nibi, come in.
Let's look at Remy Gray.
When it comes to discussing, political party headquarters, that is why the team from Liberia National Union has never been caught in the kind of situation because we have been thinking far ahead of time, and we have we as a party have had a place where it's owned by the Liberia National Union. So we're not going to fall in that kind of situation where the UP is embarrassed now with rental payment, all kinds of things. Liberia National Union has its own place on 16th Street, and I don't ever think in the future they will ever have an issue of rental because it is owned by Lino. So our leaders in the past had a vision for this country, so they had a place that was secure for the future leaders of Liberia from Lino. So in discussing, Unity Party have been, I want to agree with Stanton that 12 years, they didn't think about the future. So that tells you that they are not ready for Liberian leadership. Because if we are,
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Don't spin that thing over.
I'm saying that.
Listen, I reached to a place and I slipped off. So say your own. I'm begging you. Daniel Sano here, watch me.
I am saying, as a party that led this country.
I just want to say something. Right?
I know you gotta let Mr. TB finish. You can't just cut into his conversation. So wait, go ahead, Mr. TB.
Yeah. So if we're discussing leadership when it comes to having your home, right? Every leadership, every parent or every family wants to have a place that's secure for their parents and also secure a place for their unborn generation. So if UP for 12 years, I'm not saying they should take the national resource to pay their own party headquarters, but they were paying dues and they had strong members from all facets of the government. So they were unable to raise the fund as being a due paying member, as Stanton said, calling all the big names. And they have plans for the future. Today, they will not be arguing. They're not talking about party headquarters being rotating from home to home. Lino will never rotate from home to home as a result.
When we get in Lino, we're not getting Lino, then you will know.
And have a better place.
When I get in Lino, you will know. But I beg you, though, let me say this because somebody get a message. Hey, Remy, welcome to the show. My brother, it's good to see you. Whenever I see the green background, I feel happy that you're in studio. Daniel Sano ran away. My question was going to Daniel Sano, but his internet is giving problem. So Dr. Richardson, Dr. Richardson. Okay, let me say this real quick. So maybe Remy can add to it. Mm-hmm. Trust me, I do believe, and I will say this. In the current administration of Unity Party, where you get Reverend Tape, Amos Twe, and the rest of them, right? You, Remy, you were asking 2 days ago if they're raising money. You were asking that question. We have not seen, prior to Madam Yombli Kanga Lawrence's birthday party, whether these guys are able to raise $10,000. We have not seen it. If I'm making a mistake, correct me, please. And good that Daniel Sano is here because I was coming hard on Mo Ali today. We have not seen Unity Party of 2005, 2011. We have not seen Unity Party to raise over 10,000 United States dollars. Not Madam Yombli. No. Am I making a mistake? You guys been there before me. Can somebody correct me? On a one instant spot, have Unity Party raised over 10,000 United States dollars? Daniel, you be last to go. Let me ask Mehmet. Let me ask Johnny maybe. But you have party structure. Have they raised any amount over 10,000? Abdullah. You are muted, sir. You are muted, Abdullah. Let's see if go ahead.
Yeah, so to your question, I've not seen it. I've not heard of it. I know Vice President Bwaka has his own foundation.
No, I'm not talking about Vice President, I'm talking about party.
For the Unity Party, I've not seen it.
Thank you. Johnny, have you seen it, Johnny? Have you heard of it?
Seen what?
Have you seen a Unity Party as a party? Have they raised any amount over 10,000 United States dollars?
Since when?
I'm asking you, have you heard of them raising any amount?
Well, I think, if my memory can serve me correct, this is the first time I'm hearing about having fundraising that was held this I think over the weekend.
Thank you. Thank you, my brother. Remy, am I making a mistake?
So wrong.
I'm coming to you, Daniel. Daniel, you will take us on this. I like to be corrected, but I want Liberian to understand. I am not talking about 2005 Unity Party. I'm not talking about 2011 Unity Party. I'm talking about Unity Party after 2017. Have they raised any amount over $10,000? Remy Gray, not Jose Yima Boaka, but the party. Remy, am I making a mistake, my brother?
I'm not. You're not. You're on course. But I want to caution Daniel Stando that we are in a panel, so he should not be speaking across or barging in conversation, not unless it is his turn. That's my own appeal to him.
So can you answer my question? It's very important for the folks to know. Am I making a mistake, Ed?
No. My brother, absolutely. The Unity Party does not have that culture of raising money. And I think we, to some extent, they're photocopying the activities of political organizations like the ANC or CPP, with this culture of putting your money where your mouth is. And the fact about it is the Unity Party, if they were raising money, they should be one of the most wealthiest organizations, especially given the time that they have been on our political landscape. But they don't believe in giving; they believe in taking.
I beg you, you will have your time. It was just a quick question across the board. I want Daniel Sano to be last on this one. It's good to see Al Hussein Fadiga. The man that got a new job, and the job is taking him away. And I would recommend that they give him 3 days a week to work because he got to be on Spoon. Dr. Richardson, I'm making a mistake. Mr. Cummings been raising a lot of money in America. Tewan Gonglo came to this country. He raised money. I know he was in Williamsboro, New Jersey, in the backyard of somebody raising money. We know that. We know that all the political leaders been raising money. Besides Jose Yima Boaka tag team, besides Madam Yomdi Kanga Lawrence, have you heard, have you seen Unity Party raising any amount over 10,000, Dr. Richardson?
No, I have not heard Unity Party raising money to that extent, reaching $10,000. But this is a very important topic to me because the fact that you can raise money to pay your rent, or you are defying court order or rule when it comes to paying your rent, it has some implications for your leadership ability to take over our country, to be responsible for the Liberian people, and also to manage our budget. That's what it's telling me. There are also rumors around that Unity Party is broke and that they are depending on Jeremiah Cohn for money. So when we hear that they are not responding to the court order to make the payments, and we hear that they don't have money, and we hear that they are depending on Jeremiah Cohn, we are trying to make sense of what is going on within the Unity Party, and that's why we are asking and having this discussion.
Wow. Fadiga, take us home then. We'll bring in the Unity Party / Liberty Party guy to tell us whether we lie or not. Fadiga, I know you're a Unity Party supporter for now, but talk to us.
For now?
Well, that's a nice way to put it, because I don't have wheelbarrow syndrome. I move with what the people want. But honestly, owing landlord, I owe my landlord before everybody owed. I got a couple of properties that I owe, people own. I don't think it's anything illegal with that. As an institution, the institution should be able to settle her area. We should not lose focus of the fact that when Ellen left the Unity Party, she left the party cash-stricken, and that was by design. Ellen left, and she left with all the cash. She even took away some of the ability to generate revenue. Honestly, look how the people that left with her. Everybody, the mean cash cow that were already enjoying the government, they all left with her. And we all know the stage, how she left the Unity Party, and we all know why. 6 years later, we know why. It is clearing. So when people try to bring this on,
come on, Fadiga, man, don't let me argument yet, man.
When
So
people
that
try to
Ellie
put
leaving the party means that they cannot generate funds after
they
Ellie?
are generating revenue within the
I'm
league.
asking a
I'm
straight
just saying
question, Fadika. We
that
can have
they
this
leave
argument on
a
the show.
strong
Have you
institution.
seen them? Have you heard of them raising over 10,000 United States dollars, Fadika?
They don't have, all right, let me tell you one thing too. No, it's not about how much you raise. The CDC did not raise $10,000 when people were printing their own T-shirts and running around. You see, politics is not about how much.
You don't
how
see
much
the question. So
what
you have to
have
answer the question. Can you answer the question?
no? But
Have
you're
they
trying to make
raised
it like
money in that amount?
because you're trying to come to a conclusion here without even assessing all the facts. Like, oh, because they're not raising
for
money
6 years. Madam Salim is no more there for 6 years.
No.
This woman went packing for 6 years. You've been running a political party for 6 years. You have
When
not
you
raised
have the
anything over
popularity-
$10,000.
Let
Stop
me tell
talking
you why.
Tabata on the show, my
Let
brother.
me tell you why.
Don't do that.
If you have the popularity and the support, overwhelming support like this train has right now, you don't have the cash is not the problem for Boyka. Love. This
That
man
love will
has
eat.
love.
That
No.
love will eat. That love will make the party operate. That love will make the
Let me-
grease on the tree run. Where. That love will carry that
the
tree from
little
one
bit of
point
cash
to
that have
another.
been generated can grease the wheel. But let's look at the other side that have been generating 200, 300,000 and that. How
We'll
far
come to
have
that.
it
I
taken?
know you want
No,
to
we
pick
need
on
more
Dr.
than we need
Richardson
more
now.
than
No, we'll
cash.
come to that. You want to start with Dr. Richardson and Aaron Remy, but let me bring you Daniel Sano, who gave the lie to us tonight about the raise money. Don't tell me about Costa raising money or Daniel because you not text me already. But talk to us, my brother.
But I haven't written any text yet. But Stanton, here's a point. Just last month, it was reported that the ANC was thrown out of office in Nimba because they refused to pay. They failed to pay the
But
rent.
you didn't answer the question. When you go to ANC? Why you fast to go to ANC?
No. I'm trying to analogize by virtue of Dr. Richardson's reasoning that when you can't pay your rent, it means to say you're not responsible, right? So they not put ANC in the same basket now because just last month in Nimba County, they were thrown out of the office. They couldn't pay rent. But that's the point I want to make to your question. The Unity Party ran a glamorous campaign in 2017. Unity Party owner Joseph Boyka ran a glamorous campaign, raised significant resources because you said not 2011, not 2005, but Unity Party owner Joseph Boyka in 2017 ran a glamorous campaign. People who campaigned for Joseph, I was against him by then, but we were outmaneuvered. The strategy, the resources, we have partnered with pool washers. Unity Party were on top of the game. Fund the capacity of the party to raise funds, even beyond the 2017 elections. We had a by-election in Lofa County. How do you think that election was funded? The Unity Party raised money. All of the collaborating parties with the Unity Party.
Wait. I beg you, don't talk about that by-election that somebody ran away with $9,000. Don't talk about it. Your own spoon talk, my brother.
But you said that raise money again.
No. It wasn't a Unity Party money. It wasn't a Unity Party money. It wasn't a Unity Party money, Daniel Sano.
No. I was in Lofa. I know how that money was raised.
How?
I know how it was raised.
How?
I would not tell you, yeah.
Oh, because it wasn't Unity Party money.
Waka is supposed to be living on loan, right? I didn't get it. You came in broken.
I said it wasn't Unity Party money, man. Call Mo Ali here. Let Mo Ali start hiding himself. Don't stop that thing. You're not even. Yeah, you'll get me when your internet comes on later.
Can I come in?
Old center, man. You question the party ability to raise money, right? You said they have to raise 10,000 to the Boyka. So how did 9,000 lay somebody hand at the runaway?
The party have not shown to the Liberian people that they can raise money. Honor the leadership of the voice. But listen, Dr. Richardson, please take control of your show, yeah. Because I believe that the other people got to speak. I hope somebody can.
Yeah, I want to say something.
But that's a good conversation,
I just
though.
want to make it clear that fundraising comes in different ways. It is left for the party to either make it open or you can raise funds internally. Beyond closed
so you're
door.
hiding the money. So you're
Right?
hiding the money.
So
So you're
the
hiding the
buy-
money.
So
it's
That
not
is another thing
You're
our
not gonna be that
brothers.
Cummings.
he came on, Mr.
You're not
Simon.
gonna be that Cummings who
Yeah.
goes to Atlanta, Georgia every time to raise money. And everything just pledges, nothing happy. When we raise money, we lay here on physical cash.
Also, all the pledges if
When
you
I
get
tell
to
you,
the
when I tell you at the fund,
let's move on, man. Daniel, let's move on by.
when I tell you at the fundraising rally that was held on Sunday, we are exceeded our target. We are raised over 100,000. We are laying here on our cash, not pledges.
Okay.
So,
Oh, you have to pay our
so in
rent.
2017,
But Daniel,
the money is not for rent
You gotta
payment.
bring in,
The
you gotta
money is
bring
for
in
pool
other
washer.
guys. Folks,
It will not be diverted.
Daniel,
That money
hold
for
on
pool
1 minute.
washer.
Daniel, hold on 1 minute. Let's just bring in the rest of the team, folks. Give your closing on this Unity Party saga with the money issue. Everybody will have 2 minutes and we'll move to the next conversation. All right, Dr. Richardson, you can please take it back, man.
It is fair. This conversation is fair. A couple of months ago, we're here having this conversation. Mo Ali was on the show. He talked about the party making a payment arrangement, and I was like, okay, this matter is resolved. But today in Front Page Africa, it was published that the Unity Party refused to abide by the court's ruling. Number one. Number two, the payment arrangements that they made, they didn't follow through. So I'm sitting here thinking this is the party that wants to take leadership, that is waiting in power. How are they going to rule the 5 million people in Liberia and also be responsible for our economic activities in the country? It brings doubt to my head. And I want to look at the rumor that the people have been saying, Unity Party is broke. The reason why Coon was preferred is that he would be the ATM for Unity Party. So these are all things that are playing in the minds of Liberian people, and Liberian people are questioning the ability of Unity Party to rule our country given their money situation. Are they going to corrupt, to be corrupt? Are they going to be stealing money to pay their rent or to do other things that we see the CDC government is doing right now? So this is why this matter is important to us.
I think we are all good. Let's just bring in we're going to do just a quick round table. Let's just bring in Fadika, El Remy, Abula, Mame, Johnny, Nate, Debbie, and then Daniel will close us on this. Your 2 minutes, Fadika, on this issue. I mean, you get good internet already, then you put in something up. We can't even see it. Go ahead, Fadika.
Look, a few years ago, the CDC was cash-stricken. George, we barely have money to do anything. They put money together. Look, it takes more for a grassroots campaign. It takes more than money to win an election. We are seeing that money doesn't always get you the election. It is a factor. We see the man a millionaire that entered this race with enough cash. Every time they get together, they raise nothing short of 50 to 100 or 200,000. Yet and still, they cannot appeal to the hearts and mind of our people. So it takes more than money. What we are seeing here is a grassroots movement that doesn't have to be showing off cash or showing off well-to-do, that they are well-to-do and they are a bunch of elites. When you run a grassroots movement like what we are seeing with the boycott train, you will see that just the commoners, ordinary people, putting bits and pieces together. So unlike other people that will be showing you that will raise this money to put fear in the people, we know that it takes more than money to win an election. And then I hear about a Coon. Look, I don't know how is this a problem that if Mr. Coon decide to put some of his money in a race. He's a candidate. He's a partisan. He's not even a partisan, but it is his race as well. But I want us to move from the notion that because you raise money or more money, so you will win or it will change anything. What we should be afraid of is people using foreign, having foreign dollars in our election, where people are going to foreign. We know who has that connection, and I'm afraid that those people will have influence, like the Coca-Cola influence in our election, where people that have big friends within the state. I'm not trying. I'm just being honest, because we know who has the corporate a connection out there. And we know that corporation is one of the biggest demons in the world right now. Because when we saw where we are with the Russian, with the Russian are giving I don't know how many dollars, and now they're coming for it. They got bonded on here or whatever. So we all know. So our little micro resources that we can generate down there, I will feel more confidence. I'm more confident in a leadership that will get his money locally, that will not be indebted to the corporate demons of the world, and win an election. There's someone that will pre-finance the election with corporate dollars that will be it's like selling our soul to the devil. That's all I would say. So I think the campaign is on track. I think Ambassador Boyka is doing exactly what he's supposed to do, and I think this will be probably a one-round election.
Okay, let me bring in Remy. Remy, I know you're going to disagree with my brother Fadiga because you guys from Minnesota, the weather is perfect over there today, as I heard. But what Fadiga is saying is just not holding water. Let me lay something up for you, Remy. Say what you want to say. Money is very important in election. And I want all Liberians to listen tonight. When Daniel Sanders said Lofa, it was because of money that UP ended up losing that election. So make your point, Remy.
First thing, let me refute what Daniel Sanders is saying, that all the money raised yesterday were physical cash. 70% were pledges. I listened to everything. So that's the first lie. And, if we're going to be coming here with misinformation, disinformation, lies and innuendos, that is exactly how our character, looks. But let me say this to Alpha Diga, who is saying that the CDC didn't have money. The CDC even brought in helicopter. They even brought in private money. And he was talking about foreign money coming in. The CDC had this Burkina Faso that were bankrolling them. You understand? So I agree with him on that portion. But does that mean the CDC didn't have means to raise money? George, we have found ways to raise money. And with regards to the ANC, every now and then I hear people talking about begging. Look, when people are passionate about the leadership of a nation, an impoverished nation like ours, they put their money there. All of these rallies they've been having, the ANC, I was just at the one with Dr. Richardson over the weekend in Philly. Common people, ordinary people, people who go to work here, Liberians who do double, just because they're passionate, they put their money. That culture of giving, you understand? It's exactly what the Unity Party does not have. This is why when they were in the CPP, not a single penny they paid in terms of dues. They left indebted to that particular body and ran away. And they took that same culture of meanness to their own operation. And the Unity Party, look, let me tell you, I always say...
Stop that. Let me interrupt you real quick. I beg you. You brought up a very interesting point here. The CPP, the first CPP. We heard this complaint before, that they wasn't paying dues. It was all here and there. But, I want you to speak on this one now. Gafwan, Amara Kone, Brian Samuka, some big dogs in Unity Party for 12 years. You guys have money. Why is the party so dead broke? Why is the party, people are saying not me, because Daniel Sanders said it's true. The party is broke. Why is the party broke, according to Daniel Sanders?
The fact that people can support only the candidate and not being member of a political party, you understand? Sometimes stands as one of the most significant reasons why people cannot make their contribution to the political organization. They come to fund the candidate. When the candidate wins, that's a quid pro quo. You win, you give me a job. You understand? I put my money behind you. So the focus was on the political individual who will win the election as opposed to the party. But what that suggests is that the Unity Party as an entity is not organized enough. You understand? to champion its own cause. Look, if a man cannot take care of his home, whom are they going to take care of? The Unity Party is just a sluggish organization, very disorganized in terms of organization. When you see them, they make noise. Now, the reason why Amin Modad was kicked out because probably he did not fulfill what he was expected to do when elected as chair. The same thing is on Luther Tappen now. The same thing is on Luther Tappen now. You understand? This idea that one person is supposed to foot the responsibility of the organization is where the ANC comes in as a different political party. Rather, we feel that everybody collectively should foot the responsibility of the organization as opposed to just the leader.
Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Eddie. Let me bring in Abula. Abula, my mate, I know you from the other side of the river, but you've been following the Liberian politics in your season due. Talk to us, man. What's the problem? In America, all the auxiliary groups, Cummings will go to Michigan, Chicago. He was just in Philadelphia, North Carolina. And the man went as far as Canada. You are calling him. The man raising money. You must say pledges, but something is there. Okay? Something is there. What's happening to the Unity Party outside of Liberia? If the Liberians cannot afford it, they cannot raise but $10,000. What's happening to the Unity Party outside of Liberia?
For me, it's a leadership issue. If you really brag about having 1 million partisans and you cannot rally them behind a vision to contribute $1 to that mission, then that's a problem. So I listened to Hassan Fadiga talking about, party is popular, everybody want the Joe Biden to be president. When you go all in the villages, everybody want, Unity Party. We'll see that in the election result. But the point I'm trying to send across is if, you have that mass support of the people and you cannot just call their attention like Nyomli did recently to her credit, except that she did it with the big shots. But if you have that grassroots support that you claim you have, and you cannot rally them behind a purpose to contribute just $1, then that's a leadership problem, a fundamental leadership problem. But talking about contributing to political parties, that has been the culture in Liberia. We do not contribute to what we believe in. And talking about it from a whole holistic standpoint is how we need to change that dimension. Going to the Unity Party issue specifically, if you cannot estimate how much you can generate over time to determine whether you're able to maintain a specific class, a statute of a political party headquarters, then that's a problem. If you knew, like I think Daniel Samuel, someone said Ellen left them in there, they didn't pay for some level of time, then do not take a political party headquarters that will cost you $200,000 in a year time. Take a political party headquarters that will cost you $50,000 in a year time, because that's what you can afford. And that's what we call effective management of resources. Why would you want to take a political party headquarters that costing you over $200,000 a year when you cannot raise $200,000 a year? That's management issue. That's leadership issue. What we do with the Gonglo team, we know our limitations. We know how much we can generate. We know who we're generating resources from. We're generating resources from civil servants who are not even taking pay on time. We're generating resources from farmers who are struggling to increase their yield. So because of that, we know we're generating $5, $10, $20 through cash app and mobile money. So we put our quote according to our measurement. And that's effective management. You plan your budget, your activities in the means of the resources that you have. If you cannot do that, and they take you to court, and there's a ruling that you cannot honor, and there's an arrest warrant, potential arrest warrant on you, then that's leadership problem, and there's a need for us to talk about it, and even talk about it more extensively.
Thank you very much. We'll keep Daniel Sano for last. Let me bring in Mr. Johnny Debbie. Johnny?
Yeah, so thank you. I think the team has done so well to just tell Liberian people that Unity Party has no vision for Liberia. Clearly, that's a clear-cut thing. Because if you have a vision, you know you have a home, you got a long-term plan, you will have a place where you will sit to jump to the next level. So for 12 years, if the UP had the resource ability, not necessarily taking the state fund to spend to build your own place, we have all the means, all the options you have. You didn't do anything. Okay. 2017, like I heard from everyone, Unity Party spent a lot of money to campaign around the country. Then they know that they are a party and a government in waiting, and that they will have a long time to be in Liberia to function. That's why I say Liberia National Union, our forefathers were visionary people. They thought about today, they thought about tomorrow. So even while we are there today, we are also based on their foundation and making sure that, in fact, just today we had a meeting to ensure that while we are preparing for campaign, we are looking for land space in every county. Whether we win, we do not win, because we know that we are here forever as Liberia National Union. Therefore, we are looking for space in every county to have our own structure built. So that people will see us serious. And we are a serious party. That is why our team of leaders is so concerned about Liberia, to the point that we are concerned, right now we are concerned about improving Liberian people's economy. Look, some years back, I did a study with a student from Columbia University on political science issues. We went to the place and took 20 persons and gave each person that $500 Liberian in an envelope in pieces in different denominations, and said, look, we have a cause. What cause will you support if you have money to contribute towards your society? You won't believe that the 20 persons who give money to, we say it's for you. You can contribute towards a cause that you believe in, or if you don't want to contribute, the money, you can take the money home. Because of the hardship in Liberia, only 3 persons contributed $100 each towards a cause they believe in. The 17 persons took the $500 home because they were already broke in my mind. So you cannot play a game with them to know whether they can contribute towards a cause. So Liberian people don't have a custom, a culture of contributing, because the country has always been in hardship. If we have job creation in this country, Liberians are working, they are part of any organization, they will go and pay their due. And Liberian people also don't believe that political parties is where they should go and contribute towards. Because the way our system has started to work in Liberia has always been the party will do everything for you. That's why we are also changing in Lano. So our forefathers talked about having a place that we sit in, and we will begin to build on that and make sure that Lano will never be taken to court for office space for any rent. So what I want to say for people today is that hearing from everybody here, that will tell us that UP, during the days of 12 years with Madam Seliv and Uncle Joe Boakai, did not have the vision that after 12 years, this party will exist.
Thank you very much, my brother Johnny. You know what? Your last point is very clear. And I'm going to go to Mr. Sando, who is from Liberty Party, but yet in collaboration with Unity Party. I think most Liberians begin to understand, maybe, and only maybe, after 2017, that there was going to be no Unity Party. Because there's nothing fundamental. There's no layout. There is no layout. Daniel, Mr. Mame said, Cash App, mobile money, they have something structured, right? ANC party said, Mr. Comey, come. Mr. Comey, running coming. Tell Mr. Comey right now, right? To go to Camden, New Jersey. They're having a program there for him to raise money. He will be there. Tell Mr. Comey was in the heart of Trenton. To be frank, the cash are moving. These people are getting money from the bank account and credit card. We are not seeing it for Unity Party for 6 years. What's going on? All the Azarians group here in America, in Canada, they're fighting. All our brother George Noble can do is talk. Somebody tell you, say I call his name. But I will say this to you, Daniel. Come up with better explanation on this one. You are now a UP partisan, but now you begin to work with them. Help that brother understand. What's the source of income for Unity Party?
But Stanton, I can understand for Abdullah Mame and my brother Jimmy Debbie, but for E. Remy Gray and Dr. Richardson to be sounding very sarcastic about the Unity Party, a party that, I mean, 50 of ANC can come from Unity Party in Mosrado County. 50 of ANC can come from Unity Party. A party that is by far bigger in terms of establishment than the ANC, bigger than the ANC in any aspect of politics in Liberia. For these two people to be sounding very sarcastic about the Unity Party, I mean, it just speaks volume to their motive. Once it has to do with Joseph Boakai, they're going to blow it out of proportion. But there are two things here. And I'll bring it back to the first one. That in 2017, this very front page Africa reported that the CDC was at the brink of being evicted from the headquarters. In fact, the headline said the CDC was illegally occupying the headquarters. Why? Because elections were next door, and front page Africa were doing what they know best. Have you asked yourself why this headline this time? This headline comes at a time when Joseph Boakai announces his campaign team. Nyombli Kanga Lawrence is campaign chair. Over $100,000 is raised on the occasion of a birthday for the campaign. Almost all major news outlets in Liberia is focused on carrying the news. Our dear friend from Front Page Africa said, no, that thing is not newsworthy. What is more important is to tell the people that Boakai will be in jail if he doesn't pay the people money. So, Stanton, it's very key. Even the ANC people who are talking here, can ANC Liberia raise $5,000 out of meeting? ANC Liberia, can they raise $5,000? Because the political establishment has to be on the ground. We do respect diaspora-based support, but the political support, when we support,
do you have diaspora-based support? Do you have diaspora-based support?
For him.
Do you have any, Daniel Sanders, do you have any diaspora-based support? We want to see them. We want to hear from them. We want to hear how much money they have raised.
Of course, we do have diaspora-based support.
One of the fundraisers just called me. I mean, all the charities, he want to come on, so when you open the line, one of them will be able to speak to it. I know.
The other day, our political leader. The other day, our political leader was in Pennsylvania, right? Thousands of dollars were raised for the operation of the Liberty Party. On Sunday, she was there.
No way.
Using her birthday to raise money. You saw what happened.
Liberty Party. We say Unity Party. Don't talk about Liberty Party, my brother.
So I don't know how you want to distinguish, how you want to cherry pick here.
You gotta say the truth to the Liberian people. So you are now saying that Unity Party is resting on the shoulder of Madam Nyombli Kanga because they have failed, they cannot raise money. We talking about Unity Party. I thought yesterday Nyombli was Liberty Party. I thought Nyombli was Liberty. That's Richardson. Don't allow this guy to say this thing.
2017.
Nyombli is Liberty Party.
2017. How did the Unity Party fund for campaign activities in 2017 on Boakai's shoulder? The Unity Party ran.
So you are making my point, my brother. You are making my point, and I want to say thank you. And I want to say thank you very much. Add 1 minute. Add 1 minute. I beg you. Add. I want to say thank you, Daniel Sanders, but this is not holding water. The Liberian people need to beat on Unity Party, though they want the party to come into power, but they need to beat on Unity Party because Unity Party is not. They are so disingenuous in themselves. And I will say this to Reverend Tappe. I will say this to Amos Twe. The leadership of the party have not raised a dime. Zero. Okay? We want to see it. Don't tell me about Nyombli. Nyombli from Liberty Party. She's a political leader of Liberty Party. So are you saying Unity Party was there till Nyombli came on? Are you saying Unity Party was there till Jeremiah Kun came on? Listen to what Dr. Richardson said. Yeah, on Jeremiah Kun showed up. The man is the new ATM for Unity Party. We want to see the real Unity Party money. In country, outside of country. Where is it? You talking Tabata. They all my brother Fadiga say he won't call for a raise of pressing. That person just want to show face, Fadiga. We want to see money.
No, it's not show face. I mean, that thousands have been generated.
That's why we want to show face, man.
I don't think we
No, I'm not misleading the public. Listen, people need to understand me, right? This thing about Unity,
like the ANC folks.
No, because there's no mad. It's not about being braggadocious. There is no mad. The only thing.
Even the ANC fundraiser, the accountability issue.
That Richardson, please take control of your show. Richardson, please take control of your show.
I'm going to say something and then we're going to move on to the next topic.
All the partisans are complaining about accountability issues. He the ANC.
And Dr. Richardson, let me lay on this, right? I beg you, Mama. I'm deeply concerned, Dr. Richardson. I'm concerned because what happened in Lofa County? People can sit here and laugh and joke. I'm seeing it. And thank God.
It is being handled.
Abula said, thank God for Madam Yombli Kanga Lawrence. I will tell you guys a story before the show ends today. That building that they took Unity Party from, I know why they took them for that building. I know. I have it here in my phone. It's politics, though. But let's just understand that Unity Party messed up.
Politics.
Unity Party messed up. I want to see Amos Stewart. All the plenty talking he can talk. Let him tell the Liberian people how they stand to raise money. I want to see Reverend Tappet. Very quiet, Reverend, decent man. Let him tell the Liberian people how much they're raising. The party is broke, but they got millionaires in the party that's sleeping on the money. And we must sit there and hide it for the Liberian people. Dr. Richardson, thank you very much. We can move on.
I'm going to just say my last words about this, and then we can move on. Number one, we are not going to tolerate Daniel Sanders, you come on this show to provide this information to the Liberian people. CPP ANC was never kicked out of the office in Nima County. The contract expired, and we moved on to Ganta, an office that I visited and also saw the operation of that office. Okay. Number two, there's no accountability issues in our fundraising affairs. So you just come here just to come play politics. I'm sorry that you feel that way. Number three, you are here saying, oh, in 2017, Front Page Africa published.
But you don't do I'm gonna say it. That's all.
Let the woman finish back. Hey, man, you're the Liberty Party people, but let the woman finish back.
There's a rule of engagement, okay, where when one person is speaking, another person shouldn't interrupt, except you have some sexist tendencies that you see that my voice is not valued. And so that's why I want to tell you. Number three, lastly, you said in 2017, CDC was evicted or was supposed to be evicted as reported by Front Page Africa. You can see right now why Front Page Africa reported that story. Let's make the analogy to what is happening in our country right now with our money, okay? You can see how corrupt CDC is with our money. We have no accountability. We have no transparency. And you see how they are working with our budget. So it is fair that we discuss Liberty Party money issue right now. And I don't think it's fair that we should be doing pay for play. Oh, I will give you this position if you raise this fund. I will give you this position. I will give you vice presidency because you're going to pay $3 million. It is not fair because in the end, it is unethical and it could lead to corruption. Thank you. I'm done.
Thank you very much, Dr. Richardson. Fadiga, you want to end for us to move on?
Yeah, let me end this. Look, I'm surprised that the ANC is even bringing this issue up. Look, the ANC has a serious, terrible relationship when it comes to transparency.
But why are you putting this on ANC? That ANC talking.
I mean,
why are you putting this on ANC? You get Abula here, you get Johnny here, you get me here. But you leave everybody else here going to ANC. Why?
We can't beat on the little guys. Honestly, we can't beat on the little guys.
Oh, Johnny here? I'm like,
no, I will respond to him.
I think we should move forward because he doesn't have anything else to say.
No, I have something to say. And about to
yeah, I think we should move forward.
I'm not going to beat on the little guys, and I will leave it at that. But let me say,
no,
this.
I mean, you can't say that. You can't say that. Who are you? You don't have a vision, and you say you are BB.
Let him finish. Let him finish. But you know what, Johnny? Let him have a chance. Johnny, I beg you, let him finish.
You have been state power for 12 years. You don't have a home. You are still lingering from place to place. You are still traveling. You don't have a home.
The whole story.
Johnny. Yeah, Johnny, let him finish, please. Let him finish.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Fadiga. But you gotta wait for your time, Johnny. Please wait for your time, please.
No time.
I grew up in a home, and I grew up how it means to to treat your fellow man, to be very honest and fair in everything you do. I don't see why I would beat on the Gonglo folks when I know that if election was held today, we will need Mr. Gonglo because he's not going anywhere. We all know that. We look at the post. So why would I want to beat on a good man that we could use later on? So when I talk about being fair and picking on someone's size, I know a person that can at least put small dent in our son will probably be our ANC folks because they are the elite folks. They have money and they can do something. So I pick on someone's size, and that is how I do in my everyday life. But as far as this is concerned, the ANC have no moral authority to question any fundraising when it comes to the Unity Party, and they are the main people pushing this thing. And here's the reason why. Look, there were several allegations made about campaign finances within the ANC that is even causing trouble within the camp. You will see a couple of breakaway. In fact, the campaign, how much did they make the other time? No, we're not seeing it has dwindled over the last couple of months because they have serious issue with transparency and accountability that the money that they are raising. So it's not only one thing, it's an entire process. So the Unity Party have raised money within the means. I'm in several chat rooms that they are raising money, and the focus have been on Powasho. It's not about truck and all those things. Those have not been the Unity Party problem. The means in the campaign have assessed what they need, where they need to put their funding, and they are generating revenue for those things. So the people, they got nothing to be questioning about. I think we are raising money well within our means. I don't think I can't hear you, Stento.
I'm sorry. Thank you very much.
I can give you one name if you want. Jonathan Jelake Taylor, there was an expose that he made that exposed a campaign issue that have been unresolved. Call Jonathan. He's alive today.
You can call him. You can call him.
You want me to call him? I can call him now.
Send the link.
Wait, 1
minute, guys.
30 seconds.
Why I call him? Let's be kind.
Oh okay. Yeah, let me send a link to Jonathan and see if he can come.
Go ahead, Johnny. Johnny, go ahead, please.
So you see, Fadiga is saying they are raising money to do all of these things. So let me get one simple scenario. You are raising money to pay your child's school fee, and you don't have a home to keep the child. What does that mean? You are raising money. Listen, you are saying you are raising money to pay poor workers and this and that, but you don't even have a home where you will sit to even analyze the results that are coming out. So how responsible are you? You don't have a vision at all. I'm not condemning.
The United Party already have. You talking about past?
I mean, I thought you were going to call the man again. You ready coming back?
The party is homeless.
I thought you were going to call the man. After that, guys, hold on 1 minute. After that call, Fadiga called the man 1 minute. Let's hear from Mame and Remy Gray. Then from there we'll go to the next conversation. Abula, please.
I think we should go to the next conversation because the United Party. My brother from the United Party said he doesn't want to speak down to what he considered to be small boys. Go back and look at the election results from 2005 to 2017, to 2011 and 2017. United Party declined more than 50% between 2011 and 2017 vote. But most interestingly to know, across every election in Liberia, more than or up to 25% on average of registered voters do not vote. Our political strategy goes beyond counting on a vote that you claim is in a bank, that you will take, that you will withdraw on election day. United Party election results from 2005 was low. It increased to win Ellen Johnson Sirleaf in 2011 by almost 100%. 2017, Joseph Boakai, it reduced by over 50% from 43% to 20%. It tells you that nobody has vote in the bank, that they keep, and on election day, they withdraw. The fact that they moved from over 39 or 40% in 2011 to 20% in 2017, it tells you that nobody has vote in the bank. But most interestingly to know,
people say that vote is in Traptefco Bank. I don't know what you're talking
is
about.
that we have 25% of our people who are not voting.
But what when I interact Vesco Bank, the people are going to cash out. They will cash out on October 10th. But let's move to Remy Gray. Let's move to Remy Gray because we have to.
It's not to bank, it's not to campaign or strategize around vote that deposited somewhere. We are speaking to people, especially 25% of Liberians who have never participated in elections.
And your party, please, next time when you guys come and put your party name that you're affiliated with, let the folks know you better. Thank you very much. Hey, Remy, I'll close out on this conversation because we got to move on to something else.
I share a letter in there before Remy come on. Just look at the letter.
Is he coming on? Is he coming on?
He's where he is right now. He cannot come on. But I just share a letter in there. I want you guys to look at the letter.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Go ahead. The Unity Party people beat you on me bad way now. I mean, we got to be fair and balanced. Let me go ahead.
Stanton, the Unity Party is a very, very thin-skinned party. If you touch them on the crazy bone, they will shout all over the place. So they come and start yelling at you. But the issue that Daniel Sanders is saying that Unity Party is 10 times bigger than the ANC in Montserrado, it's I'll urge him to go back and look at the 2017 statistic. For a first-time runner, over 40% of the vote garnered by Mr. Cummings came from Montserrado, including whipping the guy they called Benona Yue. You understand? So they had more votes in Montserrado. Look, all that 400,000 mostly came from that Lofa belt, and up there, urban areas were where Cummings took most of the votes in 2017. And if you think the party has not generated more attention and support, then you probably don't know about politics. Look, I'll tell you something about the Unity Party. It looks good outside. When it comes to converting that to vote, they struggle. All the people that have gone on Unity Party ticket from 2017, all those primary, those municipal, those smaller elections, all those people lost election, including Daba Mabandi up in Cape Man. In matter of fact, she almost came last. Just go back. The last one was in their own backyard, Lofa County. You understand? When Galamai Kotimai was dragged simply because they were not able to pay poll watchers to go into certain areas.
And that's my frustration, Remy. And the people are saying they are not saying this. Now that I don't listen, folks, don't get mad at me. That's what Richard saying. We saw this. Nobody said we raised $10,000, but $9,000 reached to the people. From Vajama to the Gbani district, the $9,000 disappeared. They couldn't pay the poll watchers. My men, they were right there, Johnny. Spoon team were in Lofa.
So
we had cars running into Lofa and Remy Gray. The people saw everything. You know what happened? I will say this before the election over. Everybody that's supposed to get paid didn't get paid. Guess what? They switch over. Citizens won the election because they were saying, wait. What is $9,000 or $10,000? Today, what happened? Galaba Kotima ended up losing the election. As one of the factors. As one of the factors that led them to lose the election. Money is the key, Johnny. Money. The people that Amos 12. Let me end on this, Johnny. I beg you. I will say this and they will get very with me.
Lost the election?
Say that?
Stanton, are you saying because workers were not paid by Unity Party is the reason why?
I am saying, this is what I'm saying. One of the key factors of them losing the election because they couldn't go to the Gbani district. Because they couldn't reach out. When the money came, the money left in Vajama. They were going to get very with me. Listen, Johnny. Trust me. I know what I'm saying on this. You don't know, but I know. I didn't sleep for 3 nights. I was on the phone. So what I'm saying, Johnny, hold on. Johnny, hold on 1 minute, my brother. Hold on 1 minute.
Are we going to the full line?
We have the time. We're not going to the full line now. We got another topic to go to. Yeah, I beg you. I know you see. The Unity Party may not even want me to talk. He won't cut me up because he know where I'm going with this one. But the money is the key. Fadiga can come and say, how much have they raised here in the United States? How much, Dr. Richard said? I beg you, Johnny, hold on, Johnny, hold on 1 minute. How much have this raised here in the United States? Dr. Richard said, when we were invited to North Carolina, the ANC, they announced that we raised over 200,000. Am I making a mistake?
Nope.
One of your Unity Party saying we are the biggest.
Those are all Trump up numbers. Anybody can point a number up and say they make it.
Do your own Trump numbers.
No,
can you do your own?
These people
Can you do your own?
What is the money doing? What is the EY having on the ground?
Stanton,
I can Joe Biden make any money.
Fadiga, do your own. Tell the people say Unity Party way first day.
Joe doesn't operate like that.
The other night on the fundraiser, somebody came with $10,000 cashier's check and drop it in the bin.
God bless your soul. That's what happens
So,
when you
let
have
me
a
tell
bunch
you
of leaders together.
The reason why we need money in the election is because of the same reason they lost Lofa. If you don't have money to give those people stipend, we don't know what will happen in your absence.
You are right. Let me say
I
this.
don't know why you guys
those
worry
of you
about
that
the
listen
Unity
to
Party
us,
fundraiser.
Guys,
Let us go and
let me
lose
say
the
this.
election because of lack of fund.
Let
us
move
go and
on.
lose
Let
the
move
election.
on. But I just want to say to
But I know it will not do
our
anything to us.
followers, y'all forgive Fadika for interrupting us. And let me say this to all of our many followers out there. Johnny Debbie is not a guest. He's one of the panelists on the show. Abula Mamed is one of the panelists on the show as well. They are not guests. So you'll be seeing them frequently as allowed, but they are not guests, okay? Johnny is from the Lino, that Manuba Party, and Abula Mame is from the LPP, right? LPP, consider Gonglo Party. What's the thing about that Manuba Party? Is that Broom? Is that Waking 1, Waking 2? How you call them? I know we got Broom 1, Broom 2.
Ellen 1 and Ellen 2.
Ellen 1 and Ellen 2. So Johnny is from Ellen 1 and Ellen 2.
No.
But let's talk about you for a minute. My brother Johnny, let's talk about your party for a minute.
Yes.
For the sake of good heaven, give us one reason why, and that's the conversation we're going to now. Give us one reason why you guys decided to choose Grace as your number 2.
Firstly, let me tell you that we have a vision that is in line with this generation of Liberian people. Dr. Clarence Monimba is the representation of the young people of Liberia. All of you, Fadiga, you, Stanton, Ambulai, even my sister, Francie, we all belong to the generation of Dr. Monimba. It's about you guys. It's about all of us. Therefore, Grace Kpan, being an experienced executive, and an experienced woman who has worked even privately to address some of the issues that Liberia is faced with regards to social deviance, where we have young men, young women, all in the streets, in ghettos.
But before you go to that plenty talking that everybody will talk, be truthful to Liberian today. Tell us who the actual Grace Kpan is. And everything on her political life that we know, let's just put it out now, because it will help Liberian. Why Dr. Monumba would take Grace Kpan? It's shocking to me. Why are you going to take her to be your vice standard bearer with all the baggage she had? But
so let me
give you your time.
No, so let me ask you, why don't we take her as running mate? Why you think we should not take her?
My man, the question go to you, man. Answer the question, brother.
You tell me why that Monumba must take Grace Kpan? So why shouldn't he take?
With all the political baggage she found herself in, and the Liberian people know. Don't you think it was a problem?
Let's discuss it.
My man, you go ahead and talk. My man. Let me say, Johnny, you go ahead and talk. We'll do the round table. Then maybe we'll give you a chance to ask us questions. We got a lot on Grace Kpan.
I just wanted to ask one question to him, just to clarify something.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
You said the Grace Kpan with the Edward Ford with the
Hey, that's it.
That's the Grace McGill Kpan. You need to add it.
I just wanted to be clear on that first.
That's her. Don't be clear no more. You are crystal clear. That's all. My man, let me say this to you, Dr. Richardson. I know you'll take your show back. Hold on, Johnny. Hold on. I beg you, Dr. Richardson. I got to run to get me a bottle of water. It is important for Liberian people to know the real story Dr. Moba selected Grace. The real story. We need a real story. And on that note, I'll be back with my bottle of water. Don't play with us, Johnny. Don't play with us.
Okay. Okay. So you see, this is exactly why we chose Grace Kpan. For a matter of fact, I was one of those that was on this committee that went to find Grace Kpan to speak to her. I didn't know her. And the very issue that Ambula just raised about this Edward Ford issue. And because she struggled, I mean, Dr. Francine can tell, admit to that. Women, when they're in leadership, their male counterparts try to struggle, try to like fight them in all kind of ways. So this lady being a superintendent of Montserrat County, the biggest county, the most politically charged county, with all the issues of expenditure, she was challenged by the county legislative caucus. You know, in the Edinburgh government, we had this county development fund. And I mean, there will be a time she will come to this platform. She's going to bring you a whole dossier of evidence of how she and the legislators of Montserrat County interacted. This woman stands out clear as a transparent lady. She stands for integrity. She did a recording of this transaction between she and Edward Ford. In fact, she did several because she was challenged all the time about how to spend the money for Montserrat County people. She was challenged. She was compelled to do this recording to expose the people, to liberate people. Other county superintendents didn't muster the courage to stand up to their caucuses in their counties, like Lofa, for example, or Bapulu, Cape Mount, Maryland, Grand Juliet, and rest of it. But she stood up as a single, I call her the Iron Lady, fighting against corruption. She was challenged many times. And she said, look, I'm constrained. I will record you guys and expose them. Well, the people don't know what's happening in the legislature. So let me tell you the fact. Grace Kpan did a recording. She did some recording for a matter of fact, just that some of them are not very clear. So she did recording. And at the appropriate time, we even gave the recording to you people, Spoon. I don't know if I can get her online. She sent to me, I'll send to you guys. So you can have the whole recording play, you listen, and you can analyze where Grace Kpan stands from. So she and Edward Ford were not discussing how to eat money from the people of Liberia. But Edward Ford was introducing her into taking money. And she said, no. She refused. She said, no. Why should we do this?
Okay.
I'm going over.
No, we can hear you. You're good. You're good. Okay. So we're just going to give the rest of your colleagues.
Just in 20 seconds, right? So Grace Kpan, that particular issue of why she stood up against corruption at the highest of levels of the Liberian legislature. And I will tell you, we have a whole booklet about this volume. All transactions from EcoBank, from communication, from legislature, the names will come up. Some of the names that you hear that are currently contesting and that people are praising it so well for doing good in this country, that you will know how much money and how to earn that money to do the thing they're doing today in Monrovia or in Liberia. So Grace Kpan is, even among all the candidates we have for Vice Senate Bureau, she stands out number one. She has experience in executive work. She has experience fighting corruption. She has experience in social development work in the communities. And she just comes with everything excellent. And she's prepared to provide support to the presidency. And we want to have a presidency in this country that will not be like you say, Broom 1, Broom 2, or Rescue 1, Rescue 2. Our team is Team New Liberia. We are building a team of leaders. We will lead Liberia into a consensus-building business. So 1-2-1-2 is not our business. It's not going to be divided. So Honorable Grace Kpan will serve as a support base to Dr. Monima. They will communicate on a daily basis. They will work together to ensure that the issues of Liberia are paramount to the governance system. Let me come to something. Grace Kpan and Dr. Monima will work together. Well, finally, Grace Kpan and Dr. Monima will work together to ensure that Liberian people will enjoy the full benefit of the natural resources given them by the Almighty God.
Thank you very much, Dr. Richardson. Thank you. I just go back to this thing, Remy Gray, when they said that you eat, I eat. It's like you chop, I chop, go back, chop.
No, you don't have the right message.
No, I beg you, Johnny. You finish now. Johnny, you finish. Hold your peace, my brother. I like you. Your voice style, you're aggressive. I like you.
No, I'm not aggressive. I'm trying to provide
I heard it. But I beg you, Dr. Richardson. I don't want to say because she's a female, right? And I don't want Johnny to lay this thing on us. They say, oh, she's a female. You know what I'm saying, Fadiga? He's trying to put us in a situation we can't handle.
You can handle it.
But let's go on this woman record. Let's go on her record. Fadiga, talk to us. What you know about you eat, I eat. Saga about Grace Pan. And beyond that, that you chop, I chop, go by chop, let's forget about the system. Talk to us and we'll make Abula last.
Grace Pan has been around.
I mean, Johnny, you're on the hot seat tonight.
Before even going into the marry and demarry of the case, or even the fact, the first thing that this woman did, and which concerns me about her, is the fact that she have no fear of violating the laws of Liberia. The first thing is Liberian law clearly state, when you look at I can't remember it, but you look at our section 19.1 of our partner code that's titled a violation of privacy of the 1976 partner code. It clearly says that it is unlawful to eavesdrop or undertake surveillance without someone's knowledge. Clearly stated. You can read it. All of you can read it. Read our partner code. And this lady, the notion that people, ARC, that has sparked fear all over Liberia. You talk to anybody now, they're afraid. It's only that is just completely unprofessional. One of the lowest. I can't even find words for it. That people are afraid to even have conversation with the next person because someone will record them. It's so childish. It has become so prevalent, especially with Ellen Crocro and all this something afterward. And yes, the woman that's going to be our vice president. That have vice presidential candidate, not vice president, vice presidential candidate. They have no problem in breaking the law. Complete disregard for the law and privacy of another individual. And I don't even want to go into what was said and what was not said. We all listened to the horrible recording and this and that. She's an insider, one of those the old hands that have been around for long. I think Kennedy Moneybar, Clarence Moneybar, he ran out of option, and that's the only place you could go because there were a few good candidates in the race. Yombili was out. Charlene Bronski finally to squeeze her out, force her out. How many people were there, in the race? And he had no other choice but to just choose something. So I think it was just a desperate attempt, but I don't think that was well thought of.
Let me ask you a question, Fadiga, before you finish. Fadiga, before you finish. You know, I'm thinking of something though. Grace Pan worked under Madam Serif, correct? In your government. Dr. Moneybar, hey, I like the guy. I can't wait to interview him. Oh my God. I missed two of his first. I missed it. I want him so badly. But he also was one of Madam Serif ministers or director or whatever. That Madam Serif's son.
This is the problem with the unity party that nobody want to talk about.
It was Minister.
This is Madam Serif. This is Madam Serif. This is Madam. The same way people beat up Cummings. Come on, man.
Mary Bro Black, when you remember when she was thrown to jail, sent to jail by the legislature, when Mary Bro, who was one of the generals in Edding, Jersey, the Selly faction of the Unity Party, they blocked her from going to prison. Let me tell you something. Not on that play. This is an open secret that Ellen is directing this thing. She got certain people in the name of Mr. Cummings and Clarence Moneybar, all these people in the race with no intention of winning. The only thing here is to block Ambassador Boyka from winning because she feared what would happen if this man becomes president, which is becoming clearer every day, and that he's going to be the next president of Liberia. So they are petrified. They are panicking right now.
Thank you. Let's go to Evan Great. Eddie?
Because that whole hogwash about the woman is afraid that Ambassador Boyka will become president, so it's going to affect her. My own, bragging question is, what went wrong for two pals that came down from high school, best buddies? When Madam Serif wanted to be president, she felt she would never leave her friend behind, Ambassador Boyka. This was one of the very first people, in fact, when the ambassador came from Lofa. This was one of the very first people who wiggled his way through in that 2-week party. He was a member of the 2-week party, for some of those who don't know, Ambassador Boyka. What went wrong? If your friend cannot have your back when you need them, one has to ask, somebody is responsible for that. And I don't blame Madam Serif all. I think Ambassador has some share in that division that exists between them. I don't know how deep is that division for people to even say that she's fielding people. People are fulfilling their ambition. Come on, man. Clarence Moniba is a fine man. The man wants to run. Mr. Cummings has the right to run. You want to tell me they'll be holding Madam Salif's wishes against Ambassador Booker? How flimsy is that excuse? Alpha Diga. I think we must respect people for their ambition, for pursuing their ambition. I don't see any reason why. Look, if Ambassador Booker does not win election, it is his leadership, lack of leadership ability that will make him not to win. Stop giving Madam Salif credit. Ambassador Booker can win irrespective of those who want or don't want him to win. It depends on his own effort. And I think he's not doing anything to meet that expectation. Ambassador is sluggish. He sits at his home, across the couch every day, and people are campaigning. So such a man, if you don't put the effort, you don't get the result. Why are you blaming
Well, I think, let me say this.
Made that video.
I beg you, Alpha Dika. Let me say this one. This one you just shot yourself in the leg. Because Madam Salif herself, in her own word, according to her own play, let's play it. Let's play what Madam Salif said about Joseph Yema Boakai.
Politics, Madam President, that's everybody's favorite. I don't know why, but our country is becoming too political. The conversation is about 2017. It's starting so soon. You agree?
I'm concentrating on just carrying out my presidential duties right now.
But my president, we're going to talk about 2017 a little bit, though.
Okay, well, you can talk.
You're vice president. He's worked with you 2 terms, and of course, coming to the end of your term, he declared that he accepted a petition from the people of Louisville County. I know in some way you have shown or expressed your intent to support him, but I just have to ask the question one more time. Where do you stand with your party and, of course, the vice president?
Look, let me be clear. It's more than hinting.
Okay.
Although there are many candidates who may make good presidents, but I say I'm supporting the vice president because I know that he's the most prepared, he's the most experienced, he's the one that's going to ensure continuity, building upon the progress we already have. Now, that's my commitment, and I believe in him. I've worked with Vice President Walker long before I became president and he became vice president.
Okay.
We're working in NGO sector, and there I learned to trust him and to respect him. I still do. And I said, despite who the opposition, the candidates, with all what they may have and all their attributes and whatnot, I say he's the best person.
And you're going to support him?
Absolutely.
And how far are you going to take that support, Madam President?
Wait now, what are you talking about?
I mean, you'll be in the trenches, in the slums, campaigning for him.
Of course.
Of course.
As the law provides.
Within the conference of the law. What do you see as his biggest ability that encourage or influence your desire to support him?
His biggest... I didn't get that.
What do you think is his biggest leadership ability? What can he bring to the table in your mind?
Experience. And not just as vice president. Don't forget, he's told his story before, and it's a very impressive story. Someone who pulled themselves up by their bootstraps, who worked in institutions, who taught, who served as consultants when he didn't have a job, who worked in the Ministry of Agriculture. And let me just say that I'm also biased because...
Why?
Because he worked with my husband. My husband
you really
in the Ministry
him.
of Agriculture. So I told you I know him.
Okay, we'll see what 2017 brings. But my president, we have to, and I must push this. You always say you feel great being the president of a resilient people. Do you feel that Liberia is better off than you met it?
So, El Fadiga, Remy, Dr. Richardson, John and Debbie, Abula Mame. That's Madam Salif. So when you ask the question, I think she have now. I'm sorry, my video wasn't up. I'm sorry. When you ask the question, I think she have now satisfied most Liberian concern. I know you want to say something, Dr. Richardson, but I want to take though. I beg you, Abula. It was Mame turn to speak. I beg you. Yeah, please.
What I wanted to say, I wanted to slip out a little bit. President Salif, former President Salif, has the right to support who she wants to support. And I put this back to the CPP folks, to the colleagues from the CPP. Why are you hiding President Salif's support to your candidate? Why are you hiding it? We need to have that conversation. What is so bad or so good about President Salif's, former President Salif's support to Alexander Cummings that CPP is hiding? Even Mr. Cummings cannot admit. On an interview, he was pressed consistently by the journalist, and he said he will not say who support him or who doesn't support him. Every Liberian support him. When Councillor Gonglo and all the other candidates were looking for running mates, looking for people to talk to, President Salif did not call Nyombli, Kanga, Lawrence, and Dillon to support Gonglo or to support Dado Moniba. She asked Dillon and Nyombli to support Mr. Cummings. So she supports Cummings. So if Cummings can take President Salif's support in the darkness, he should be able to be proud with it in the daylight. You can't eat with her in the darkness and come in the daylight and claim that she's not supporting you. Then there is something fundamental about you that we need to investigate. But on the recording, it's been over 6 years since President Salif expressed strong confidence in Vice President Joseph Boakai's ability to lead and talking about his experience. Over the last 6 years, she has not expressed that. As a matter of fact, she has expressed the contrary. She now believes, except that the ANC people are hiding it for what reason we need to talk about, she believes that Kumi is the best person. So I don't want to use President Salif's opinion as the yardstick for measuring who should be our president going forward. She served our country. Her records are there. We can speak to them. Going forward, we should be deciding on who we should make our president. And that's the reason why we who saw President Salif 2 terms, the United Party government 2 terms, we who have read about the history of our country and how leadership failure consistently from the time we were established to today, we've been able to diagnose our problem. And we realize that the fundamental problem between Liberia and prosperity is corruption. And the only person we see with the track record, the capabilities, the strength, the willingness, the character to fight corruption, not only to fight corruption, but to fight corruption and use the resources generated from there to address our problem is Gonglo. So let's talk about those candidates. Let's talk about our vision. Let's talk about what led us to supporting them. President Salif served this country. She departed. Her records are there. Why the ANC folks are hiding her support to Cummings is the critical point I want to talk about.
Thank you, Dr. Richardson. You know why he Mame just laid 2-3 different stuff, which is so unique. So just take it from there because it is important. And I will ask you from CPP, ANC, why are you guys not running with this thing? Say, yes, we got Madam Salif support. And you can talk about the clip also.
So first of all, Mame will need to define what does he mean by we are hiding Madam Eden's support for us. The question could be asked, why is Gonglo hiding his opinion about his sister's involvement in the county funds when she was superintendent? He was here. Why is he hiding that? His involvement in the Nima County Development Funds when his sister was superintendent. So if you can answer that, then we can have some conversations whether Ellen is hiding her support for us, or we are hiding it. Ellen is the best person to tell us who she wants to support. Ellen has the right. You started a conversation by saying she has the right to support whoever she wants to support. So she has the right to verbalize to the world who she wants to support. Mr. Cummings is not going to come here and say, this person support me, that person support me. No serious candidate does that. He's not into this telling who supports me. It's like who doesn't support me. The people who support him will speak out. He wants all Liberians to support him in order to serve the Liberian people and win the elections so that he can make Liberia a more deserving place. I also agree with you too, Mr. Mame, that it's been years since I don't even know the date on that video. We know what happened after that. Ellen stopped associating with Joseph Boakai. One of the things she said was, I work hard for this. He has to work hard for his. I believe there's a tape out there where I remember her saying that. What kind of vice president do we know who say to their own, what kind of president do we know who say to somebody that's elected as president that I work hard for this, you should work for your own? There's a sense of, I don't trust you. You didn't do a good job for me. You were complacent. That's what it says to me, that you have to work hard. You have not worked hard on this team with me. That's what it says. So I will find that tape. I have a team looking for that tape, but I'm sure you guys can remember when Ellen Johnson said, when they asked her about Joseph Boakai further on the line, she said, I work hard for this. He has to work hard for this too. So that's what I have to tell you about who will support Cummings or not.
Dr. Richardson, there's a clip out there. I'm trying to get it. You are right. That she said those things, that she worked hard and JMB need to work harder. But to my amazement, it's 6:33, 10:33 in Liberia. Who bring Mo Ali on? Because if people now call you and say, go, they say you ain't collect no money yet. So he coming on to defend himself. But let's give Fadika and Remy. You want to just 30 seconds real quick, Mame. It's not you. Okay. Oh, yeah, Johnny.
Yeah, so I mean, everyone went around, like Fadiga made some statements concerning Honorable Grace Pan and Monima.
No, but we come to you then. We're trying to do this clip thing. You can speak when your time comes.
Okay,
when you come on, please.
Okay,
yes,
thank you.
Fadika, can you go ahead? Then Remy, we're bringing Mo Ali, then Johnny will be last to go.
Look, I was reminded to go back to this book. It's called From Foya to the Capital. A biography of Ambassador Boakai. Ellen shower praises on this man. I wish, because of time, I won't be able to read it. Hopefully, on my podcast, I will read what she said. Some fine thing. I could just read one quote if you guys would permit me. I'm begging you. She said, Joe, as I fondly call him, is a quiet and easygoing person. This is sometimes misunderstood, but those who work and interact with him are sure to acknowledge and benefit from his knowledge and experience, which has made him effective as a vice president. I therefore would not disagree more with Professor Manupa when he wrote, and then she went on to say something. She even showered him how she was his pillow, his rock when she came to power, and she helped him lead a very successful first term. That's the Joseph Boakai. Something changed. And we can all sit and pretend because of politics to pretend that we do not know what happened. A lot of us here, some of you here benefited from the Salif administration. A lot of you know what happened. Even my good friend here, Mame, you work with Nokar, right? You was taken to Nokar by Robert Salif himself. Ellen ran her government the way she saw fit. She used the Unity Party as a stepping stool to ascend to the presidency. And when she became president, she threw the Unity Party away. That was the struggle between the Salif dynasty and the Unity Party that she used to ascend to the presidency. We all know how Ellen ran her government. It should not be no secret. When she left the party cash-stricken. And she even took away their ability to generate cash. That still did not deter Ambassador Boakai from pursuing, and even though he didn't lose, I supported him, even though he didn't lose, but he is poised to win this election. nobody can question it. But the fact remains that Madam Salif has a foot on the scale again. And what we are trying to do now is to prevent her from tipping the balance of power again. So when I see Rabah Salif back in our election, when I see Madam Salif back in our election to continue what they did and continue to hide what they did for the last 6 years, look, I will close on that. I won't even delve into it more. The only thing that makes sense when it comes to Ambassador Boyka, the only reason I've gone over there up and down, look, corruption in Liberia, if you look at every past corrupt official in Liberia, corruption, most people that are corrupt, they are very flamboyant. It's shown in the lifestyle. It's shown in the property, that the wealth that they accumulated over the year. It's shown in all Liberian men when they steal money, they can't have. Every corrupt official got this tower and statue of corruption, no big mansion all over Liberia. This is a man that have led a modest life through all his life. And you can see it. Where is he taking the money? He's not a womanizer. He's been with a single woman forever. He's not flamboyant. Let's move him from all of the picture. Go to his children. This is how you track corruption. Go to his children. Every one of them have led a modest life. They have lived as a model citizen. You don't see them buying flashy car. If you were not sitting, you could say, oh, hey, younger children. So the only thing that makes sense is that because he was not part of that cartel, and look, it's that group of people, armed robber. You living in a house with a bunch of armed robber. The armed robber, they come with the money and say, oh, my man, where you got that money for? They say, oh, my man, yeah, did that thing. You think they will allow you in a secret, especially knowing that you did not take part in the armed robbery? No. Ambassador Boyka was not part of the looting of that country. He was not part of the armed robbery of that country. And they do not trust him. So they do not believe that he will protect the secret. What secret does he have to protect? This is what we are fighting against. So when I see the Cummings, when I see the Clarence Moneyma, and I see all those people that are foot soldier of Salif, I'm like, where are we going? They cannot do this thing to this country again. So you see why I wouldn't attack the Gonglo people. I wouldn't attack my good friend Johnny, because they are not my enemy. Our enemy are the people that are trying to protect this new cartel.
Yeah, but you get away with doing something. Fadiga, why you call Abdullah name and tie him to Nokal, knowing very well that where the trouble started for Robert Salif, Madam Salif taking responsibility. No, why no. Why Mame have to do with the Nokal thing? So tell us now. Say you call the man name. Tell us.
No, Mame was handpicked and brought to Nokal. He was. Am I lying?
Is he part of the?
I don't know what he
representing Gonglo. How can Gonglo send Mame on the show to represent him, and he part of the Nokal scandal? Is that what you're saying? Are you sounding like Fagon, man? How you and Fagon can destroy people
we are
all
all interwoven. I mean, it speak to our politics, speak to some of the things that we have to deal with. So, Mame, I mean, I won't discredit you for that. That was something in the past, but I just want you to know that it was not even about him. It's about Robert Salif more.
But you thought it meant Robert Salif and Madam Salif, and you thought Nokal and the looting at Nokal.
So you want to say something?
I will give you the chance, Mame. I will give you the chance.
That's why you will be protected.
The man throw.
I'm going to respond to Fadiga. Don't forget that.
No. Yes, you will come in, Mr. Johnny Devi. Mame, respond to Fadiga here. Let's settle this thing.
So if you listen to Fadiga clearly, you realize that he even struggling to stand by his own opinion and expression. The first thing is he lied that I was picking. I think why is he handpicked?
So you handpick and say Madam Salif and Robert Salif say can't work for Nokal. Let this
exactly. The first thing he lied about that, and he can't defend it.
Or how did he get to Nokal?
I come into that.
Oh, good.
So the first thing is he lied, and he cannot defend it. So his intention now is to ask me to explain how I got a job with a state-owned enterprise. The way jobs are acquired by employees of state-owned enterprises are public. I applied, and the records are there. I went for interview. I was qualified. Israel Akinsanya, who today works for the George Weah government, hired me. Before Israel hired me, and he's living, you can call Israel. Before Israel hired me, I was employed as manager of commercial banking for a commercial bank in Liberia, First International Bank. Before going to manager,
were you at NOCA when it went down?
No, I can't. Let me address his question first.
No, we don't have enough time. We don't have enough time. Just chip on it. We'll come back.
So I left from NOCA. I left from NOCA 2017, the end of 2017. That's when I left from NOCA.
So you joined NOCA. What? Yeah, you joined NOCA when?
I joined NOCA at the end of 2013, 2014. I left in 2017. Israel Akinsanya, prior to me joining NOCA, hired me on his own as a personal consultant to work on the local draft petroleum policy consultation that they conducted across the country. They were in the process of developing the consultation report when he hired me as a personal consultant to help draft the consultation report. It was after that he hired me as public education officer at NOCA. So my entry into NOCA as an employee came through Israel Akinsanya as a personal consultant to him when he was working on the petroleum policy. And then
why you think Fadiga is now tying you to NOCA situation, the worst days of NOCA?
He's not like trying. I don't know his motive. I don't know whether he's tying me to NOCA.
No, I mean, look for what's my mom, not tying me.
Exactly. I think the thing is when people engage.
The man was a citizen. Oh, hold on. Were you a sedition? The man say you're a sedition. Were you a sedition?
Oh yes.
Oh. Okay. We'll come back. So are you?
If you want us
to come back to you, we'll come back to you. I mean, we got to talk about you later. I didn't know you were sedition. So you're undercover sedition.
No, I'm not undercover sedition.
Oh, you're not undercover. Okay. So let's bring in Remy Gray, Mo Ali. Let's work on our system, man. What are the Unity Party people running on this thing for now? We passed that story, man. You don't got to get out. Yeah. We passed that Unity Party too. We're talking about Grace Kwan right now.
Without any liar, a tear will go free. I keep purpose to purify that liar.
But man, we passed that Unity Party thing.
I was laying sleepy. All the nine people.
You were on another show. You wasn't sleepy.
We thought I really go ahead tonight. We thought I really. I'm going free.
Who's lying now? Who's lies?
No. Wait. Let Remy speak, and we'll go to Mo. Then from there we'll bring in Mepa Gono. Then we'll wrap this thing up because it's 6. We got only 60 more minutes, folks.
No, I have to respond to Fadiga. Stanton, I have to respond to Fadiga.
You have your time, Johnny. You will have your time. Let's Greg go ahead.
You know, this idea that the vice president to Adolf Hitler, when he committed the mayhem against the Jews, is innocent. It's one that defies the audacity of reasoning. The fact that you would think that the number 2 man to Adolf Hitler is innocent of a crime committed, especially when he was there, when everything else was done. It's one that I don't know where Fadiga is coming from with that logic. One of the folks that can brag of not being part of that, that massive looting of our natural resources within the Ellen administration is Chema Gonglo. He left. Ambassador had all the liberty to leave. We were enjoying the bounty, and he participated. Matter of fact, he presided over some of the bad loans that ended up in our system. 66 bogus concession house, we call them historically. So Burkhardt should come up and tell us exactly where he and Madam Salih fell off. Apparently, unless he does, I don't see any reason why people should be finding excuses for him. And I think, this idea that Ambassador Burkhardt will now win election because Madam Salif is undermining him. That's another thing. At one point you say the people want him. This is the guy who's poised to win. But another time, everybody that pops up with their own individual ambition, you say they are placed there by Madam Salif. That's not how we run politics, especially in a multi-democracy corridor. We are a multi-party democracy. People have their individual ambition. Look, if Ambassador Barker does not win this election, it is because of his own sluggishness to campaign and raise funds to make his own presidency viable. The thing about it, let's stop giving Madam Salif credit when she's not even responsible. Look, until Madam comes up and say, look, I'm supporting this person, which she has the right. Madam has the right to say, look, I'm participating in our politics. I'm going to support this person. But what if she told...
But let me interrupt you. I beg you. Let me interrupt you. She begged Youngblade and Dillon to support Mr. Cummings.
Yeah.
It's on record. Dillon said it on the show. She is supporting Mr. Cummings. Let me finish. Let me finish, Eddie. It's not hearsay, man. Come on. The meeting was here. We knew the meeting. But can I finish? But can I finish, Eddie?
Musa ability confirm A. Musa ability confirm A.
And that's where I was going. Your own chairman that told you, said, don't come on Spoon Talk, and he told you, said no. He confirmed it. He told you. He confirmed it openly. Okay.
No, Musa didn't tell me not to come.
I mean, I gotta put that to inside. I gotta put it inside. But your own chairman, though, that they never came to attend his CPP convention in Philadelphia. I don't know why, but they will tell us later. Maybe Dr. Richardson will tell us. Your own chairman, he said it. He confirmed it. How can you guys? Why you can't elevate this thing and say yes, Madam President is supporting us? Why you hiding it? And I think that's a fair question Abula asked. Why you can't run with it to the finish line?
But Stanton, let me say this.
Why you guys hiding this thing?
Yeah, let me say this. If
time is going away, I need to respond.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
You're just coming man.
Let me say this.
Yeah.
If we can eloquently say Madam does not support Ambassador Buckeye, I don't see any reason why we can't eloquently say she's supporting Alex Cummings or whoever. It is her right.
It even look laughable to see that.
It is her right to support anybody she wants to support, and it is Mr. Alex Cummings' right to enjoy the support of anybody who is a Liberian, especially in our politics. That's not something to hide.
Who else supporting Cummings? Are you hiding?
We got three other folks that will talk.
Yeah.
We can't have unity party board deciding who supports who. That's not their role. Okay. Let them find the support. If they can't get it, it's their own action or inaction.
They put get money problem already. Don't put support problem on them. Let go to Johnny. Let Johnny say the one thing he wants to say about Grace Plan. Tomorrow we'll be discussing Grace Plan on the show. Her start to finish, and why Mr. Moluba went after her to say she will be my VSB is something just not right because they're from the same Madam Salif group. We have to dig deeper into this. I know why. And I will share with Liberians folks tomorrow. But Johnny,
I'll be on
so my brother Johnny, Debbie, talk to us, my brother.
Okay, so firstly, Fadiga made a reference to Madam Pan's recording of the transaction between she and Mr. Ford as being criminal. I think he's making a mistake. Madam Pan did not go to Ford's house in his bedroom to record him. They were discussing public function. They were discussing public function. So she had all right to take note of what was being said. I mean, under the private law, if I come in your private home and record what you're doing, that's a different issue. And the next thing is this: look into the issue of JMB or Unity Party. Someone can serve 12 years consecutively as the Minister of Defense.
Hold on one minute. I beg you. Hold on 1 minute. Sorry to interrupt you. This is breaking news. Are we talking about Edward Ford?
Yes.
Edward Ford is putting up his phone number. We need to call him. Nelson Colette, if you're in studio, we will make this interesting. And tomorrow I will invite Edward Ford likewise. And I beg you guys, let's post this. Is this the Edward Ford?
Yeah, that's the honorable Edward Ford.
Yes. Nelson Colette, call Edward Ford for us. We will bring him on. And there's a reason why There's a reason why I'm saying this, because tomorrow we will have a show on Clarence Mobile, on Grace Kwan, and we will invite Edward Ford in studio to settle this matter. But in the meantime, continue talking while Nelson called Honorable Ford, please.
Okay, so good. So you're talking about Ellen supporting people, right? So look at the JMB team.
Oh, you feel with Grace Kwan now? You going to Ellen now?
Yeah, but Grace Kwan, I already told him Grace Kwan, he's just making up story. Grace Kwan recording of Edward Ford was nothing illegal, right? So the next point is you are talking about Madam Sally supporting Clarence Moniba and the team that are coming up there. But look at JMB. Someone can spend 12 consecutive years as Minister of Defense. Who does he support? Right? Nyombri is a close associate of Madame Salif. Even Delon is a close associate of Madame Salif. They all were close to Madame Salif. Delon left the Liberty Party and went to UP because Madame Salif and him relationship. So they are all today behind Boakai. Let's go back. Before 2005, who knew Boakai to be a potential material in Liberia? Before 2005. Who knew him in this country? So why are you not being kind to Madame Salif? I'm so surprised. We will begin to get credit when they do something for you. Madame Salif lifted all of you guys' situation in this country. So today, because she's quiet and you want to be a president and you don't have the strength to fight for yourself, so you keep finding blame. I can see why only if God ever allow you to win election, you will keep complaining about say they want to undermine your government. Why you are failing to do what you have to do. Let's look at the goal. What is your goal? That the Moneyman has a goal along with Madame Kwan to make sure the country is built and we have a new Liberia that all of you on this show will be proud of in this country. You understand? So we have to make it clear to you guys here that Madame Salif is not an evil person to Liberian people, especially to you UP guys. So at one point you will say Madame Salif government with X and Y thing, you take credit. Another point you come and say Madame Salif want to honor Man Boakai. So who are you? What are you discussing?
Thank you very much.
You say we Unity Party. When you're having a hospital condition,
I beg you, Mr. Johnny, we have Edward Ford on the line. Nelson, come back, Nelson. We have Edward Ford on the line. We gotta ask him some questions. Mo Ali and our sister Mempe will take us home after Honorable Ford. Nelson, you got him, correct?
Yeah. Honorable Ford is on the line.
Honorable Ford, good evening. Thank you very much for reaching out to Spoon. You are quite welcome, my friend. Can you just talk to us? You've been hearing from our brother Johnny, and the You Eat recording that was done by Grace Kwan. Can you talk to us, please?
Yes, thank you very much, and good evening to all of you. Are you hearing me?
Yes, sir, we are.
Okay, well, on a lighter note, nobody eating anymore, only one person eating. But that's just the jovial part of me. But on a serious note, we had thought that this matter was laid to rest. But unfortunately, the vice presidential aspirant thinks that her claim to a potential election should be based on a conversation that we had in the course of our work. And full declaration, I regret that statement that I made. It was a misstatement, but it was on a light note around 10 o'clock, 10:30 in the night when the superintendent called me. And I always regretted there was no corruption intended and there was no corruption done as she herself revealed. But the superintendent, Grace Kwan, went to President Salif at one point and told the President Salif that this superintendent that you have given us is not what you think this person is. This superintendent is corrupt. This superintendent is very deceptive. And President Salif in her office at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, she said that, oh, well, I have a different impression of her. In fact, there are two persons that I trust. One is Salif and Grace Kwan. I said, well, then you don't know her. This is what happened. In addition to her, and we have the document, I didn't know that she would use my name for that unfortunate conversation as a campaign issue to prove her worthiness and her own definition of false morality to ascend to a vice presidential position.
Honorable Four, we're so sorry that we got 4 more minutes to go. But we are begging you, if you can, we will give you 1 minute out of the 4 minutes. But can you please, if you can clear your schedule, John Spoon tomorrow, we'll be digging deeper into Grace Pine, and we need your contribution if you can. I asking you openly. I save your number. I'm going to send you a text that we can chat that after. So you have 1 minute, and then you can join us again. That we can. This is very important.
Yep. Usually at the council sitting, we review the funds that accrue to the council, and those funds are announced by the chairman. That person be me at the time, and we should have announced $2.8 million as the council development and social development fund accrued to the council. But before I took over from Honorable Dave Comey, Grace Pine has misapplied $261,000 of that money. Wow. It is in our council resolution questioning her and demanding her to give an explanation on the expense of that money, which she signed that very report. She wanted me to announce $2.8 million, when in fact, I'm rounding up. When in fact, the funds that we knew that was available at my extension was $2.5 million. So she said, "What will you announce?" I said, "I will announce 2.5. And she said, "What will we do with the other balance?" In my own foolishness and jovial attitude, I said, "You eat, I eat." And she played that recording exactly 1 year after that conversation. There is a report that she signed where the entire county is querying her to give an explanation on the $261,000 that up to today, President Sally has not asked her what she did with that money. It is quite unfortunate that my name and my family name was mixed with it, but at the appropriate time, we will go into details.
Thank you very much.
In her family life, what was she doing? Now we saw all the time when they were coming to my house at odd hours. I tried to stop that. I just tried to leave me alone.
Thank you very much, Honorable. Honorable, we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow, Honorable, and we will bring you because we have some documents to show and we'll discuss it. Thank you very much. Thank you, Nelson. Thank you very much. Folks, we got but we have to give more idea and Memphis going a chance, but let's go back to Johnny. To settle this thing. We're just building on something here. You heard what he said, though, Dr. Richard saying that we're bringing Johnny in. Over $200,000 on the counter for. And he's saying that Grace Pine hid the money and nobody questioned her. He's still sticking to his story. Johnny?
Okay. So that's good. If we had the time, I can give Madam Grace Pine number to Nelson. If you want her to come on the call.
No, officially, she's a VPSP now. We'll invite her in tomorrow to talk to us.
Okay, so just for the public information, Madam Pine will come to the studio tomorrow. She will give you a whole booklet of her whole transaction as superintendent of Mosquero County, her transaction between she and the caucus of Mosquero County. That's how much I will say because we don't have the time to go all the details. Since she coming tomorrow, she will provide. If you want her to even leave copy here so that Nelson
I like the fact that you are now confirming she will be on the show tomorrow, and we'll also have Miss Honorable Four on the standby that we can settle this thing. Good. You eat, I eat. It's like you chop, I chop, go back, chop. Let's bring in the Honorable spokesperson for Unity Party. My man, where the people money for that building?
So, Stanton, before I go into any serious matter,
yes, sir.
You know, sometimes you people like to enjoy yourselves in the absence of.
I love me to enjoy myself.
Yeah. I'll say this. we do owe the McLeans, and we went to the courts, and payment plans were made. In keeping with that, the Unity Party has paid $60,000. The McLeans rejected it and went back to court. The judge ruled.
No. Let's go back and correct you. The Unity Party has paid or they offered to pay. Which one? Because how they will pay and the people rejected it.
You offering to correct me, or you asking question?
No, man, but help us understand what you just said. The Unity
You
Party
say-
pays $60,000.
Ask question. You say let's offer
The
to correct you.
the Unity Party pays
The
$60,000.
Unity Party has made available through the courts 60,000 United States dollars. They're not Liberian dollar I'm talking about.
Did they pay
Now-
$60,000 or they make available? Don't play
I
with words.
can
here,
speak
Mo.
through.
Mo, I want
Temple,
you
I
can't
can
even
speak
speak.
through.
You can't even speak vibe because we don't know where you're coming from. So don't even talk,
Good.
speak, say something. But
I'm
I'm asking
speaking
you,
English,
have
and
they
in a
paid-
very
have they
simple
paid-
term.
have they paid $60,000 or they
You say, have you
the
paid?
court?
The Unity Party we've made available 60 with 3 zeros behind it.
Come on, Dr. Richardson,
$60,000.
they got playing with words here, man. Dr.
Hey,
Richardson.
but don't be confusing the people out there. They went to the court. Their judge ruling doesn't even understand that political parties leaders are not the
It's
political
not a private
leaders
entity. It's not a private entity.
Coming. Political parties are corporations, they are corporate entities. They can be sue or sue. And the
private
head of the political party, when you suing a political party, the chairman and the secretary general. So I put in the chat room there, we have taken that court of that judge upstairs for his misruling. We took him upstairs. And we will also sue the judge for damages for even including the standard bearer of the Unity Party into your ruling when the standard bearer was not part of the case. He has become completely political. Now, I will come to say this to Remy. You know, yesterday we were on the talk show with some of your ANC people. Why two serious political parties arguing? The ANC just measured they're beating Unity Party back and CDC back. But man, you got to talk to me too.
But ANC not
Let
serious
me tell
party.
you today.
Is ANC not a serious
Let me
political
learn.
party?
Let me tell you something today. You people are for nothing distractions to us. You're not our target. We're not in the same league.
I think it's important that we take to the substance, the issues.
No, Richard simply protected man.
No. Our protection.
You put
Dr. Richardson is moderating, guys. Dr. Richardson is moderating. Dr. Richardson is moderating.
Yeah,
please.
can you mute us so that we can listen to Moali?
I'm on mute who?
Why?
You can't be talking across
Don't put me in situation I get handled. I'm beating no female.
That's the rule. We're in a parliamentary floor.
We will beg her to give Mo a chance. When Dr. Richardson get mute, Mempa Gono, that woman, the woman. Go ahead, Mo.
So you know, it's like two big brothers fighting, and one lay budget there, beating your back.
Mo, you're bad too.
Yeah, you're just and that what the CDC guy told them yesterday. You're just distraction. The focus is the government. The focus is the CDC. That is the reason why people say you're in the race to distract only the Unity Party. You will not distract us. We will focus on the government because the CDC is the one the Unity Party wants to remove from power. You're not close to power. You will not come close to power like we do. We will unseat the government of the day. So all that thing that you'll be doing, when Ambassador Baka, in fact, you are admitting that Ambassador
What
Baka
is the
has
discussion that you're preferring?
You interfering now. You interfering now, Greg. You interfering now, Greg.
We have to go to the election for you to determine who is more powerful. What are you preferring?
Colonel Gray, give Mo at least a chance that he finish, please.
Yeah, but by making fun of us, we have to go.
Oh, man.
Stop wasting our time.
Interfering now. That's all you know about the quorum.
So we want to remove a sitting government. You're not our target. You will not be our target. You don't have what we want. The CDC has what we want. The CDC has plundered this country. They have plunged this country into the abyss, and we want to rescue it. And every time we want to go on the front to face the real people, you come from on the side, beating our back. Tell to me, oh yeah, let's argue. You're not in our league. Ambassador Baka, you admitting, you say if Ambassador Baka doesn't win the election, which means he has the election to win, it will be because he didn't campaign. That is the reason why we want campaign and stop disturbing us, stop distracting us. You are just a participant in these elections. You're not our target. So let's focus on the substantive issues, the issues that the CDC is doing to plunge this country, the drugs issues. Let's address them. The issue of the bioeconomy, let's address them. The issue of unemployment, let's address it. The issue of the increase in criminal rate, let's address it. There's not a unity party there. UP is not your target. But your point is, when we begin to appear like we're fighting UP, then people will look at us. We're not giving you that opportunity. You and I, we don't have the fight. The UP and the ANC, we don't have any fight. Our fight is with the CDC. Moving forward, we'll focus on the target. We will not lose sight of the target. We have a goal to achieve, and that's what we'll go for. Whenever you come with your distraction, we'll tell you, you are just an ordinary distraction, and you are a participant in this election. Nothing more, nothing less.
Dr. Richardson, it was a beautiful show from my end. I gotta go see fireworks with the kids. I think you gotta do the same. It's 7:08. Mepe Gona will be appearing tomorrow. We'll be having Grace Kwan as our guest. We'll also be bringing in Honorable Four. We'll be having a wonderful conversation. I like this setup. Thank you, Johnny, for joining us. Thank you, Abula. We appreciate you. Conor Ray, thank you for making most ability to allow you back on. We appreciate you. You know I'm messing with you.
Can I get my question? Because I might not be able to appear tomorrow, though.
No, because I'm leaving, you will speak. You're going to speak after me right now. Alpha Diga, I said thank you, Mo. Again, let's talk, my brother, Dr. Richardson. Thank you for holding the show down. We appreciate you a lot. A wonderful show. I enjoy it. Thank you, folks.
Dr. Richardson, I got the platform.
Yeah, go ahead. I think that's why he left. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. But happy 4th to all of you, especially those in the diaspora. It's always a good thing to have a home away from home. And it's good to see you again, Dr. Richardson. Strong woman. I like what you do every day. Keep doing it. Keep providing a platform where we can express ourselves. Yes, I came on, especially when I saw that our spokesman was absent. With all that was here, he addressed most of the issues, especially the fact that people see this political party debt as something that it relates to a private, it's not a private entity. So he just said that the judge was, he misstepped, and we will get past that. But it is very strange to see Honorable Grace sit there and talk about Adolf Hitler. You compare like matters. In math, you compare like atoms. You don't compare things that are not in like to each other. You don't compare that situation with that of Madame Salif and Ambassador Baka. You said and said that Tier 1 Gonglo resigned because corruption was going on, and the former vice president did not resign. So even compare again another on like matter, or mayor cabinet minister with an elected official on the ballot. It is another laughable thing. You know, we got to be careful how we say things on platform that other people are listening to us and questioning our intelligence as well. I tell you this, Tiawan Gonglo got relieved from his post. Like all cabinet ministers when Madam Sirleaf made that decision, while he was in Geneva on government duties, he returned. People were asked to reapply. He did not reapply. Well, the reasons why he did not reapply, they range from anything. There are rumors where he understood that he was going to be sent to Post and Telecommunication, and he didn't want to go to that ministry just because he's from Nimba. So there are many speculations as to why he did not reapply. So to say the vice president who was elected on the ticket with the president, he should have also left. And, that was not a situation presented. He sat over concessions. He said nothing. Have you taken a look at the Constitution and found out the role of the vice president? He's a mere tiebreaker. He says and to not interject anything in the meeting when the senators meet. That's another thing. But to close, I don't want to hold you guys. All of us have kids to see the fireworks today. I just want to clarify something here. I see the issue with the people from Grace Kwan. I think Clarence Monimba is a fine young man who probably has a lot of political prospects. I'm sorry he's coming in at this time that, his entry in the race could be seen as a betrayal by the masses. I don't know if it will serve him right in the next 6 years, but he's a guy with a lot of potentials. I don't know about Grace Kwan when it comes to that. But I tell you this, the ANC think they brag about Madam Sirleaf's support. You do that, fine. Clarence Monimba, I may say, I'm sorry, I'm referring to the honorable lawmaker. But Clarence Monimba, this is a son of Madam Sirleaf. If the ANC enjoys her support, they should be asking her to let her son get out of the race, except they have a common agenda to increase the chance of the CDC as being, speculated by many people. But this UP, we sat on this platform, and on many platforms I hear it. Oh, the Unity Party did this. The Unity Party did that. When I give them another term because the Unity Party. There's one thing I want to say about this Unity Party tonight, and I want us to listen unequivocally. The Unity Party, did they do some things that the population, the Liberian people were not happy with? Yes. But guess what? That version of the UP that the Liberian people fear, that version is not behind Joe Boyka. That version today is in the ANC. If you want to know, ask who does Rawa Sirleaf support in these elections. You're talking about Musa Belete, you talk about the Unity Party and you distance yourself. 2011, he was the Monserrato campaign chair, a man who served on the NPA board, served on the RIA board, and you point to the Unity Party because you are with the ANC. It's like the ANC has their Baptist.
30 seconds.
Yeah, let me land. Please don't be impatient. Let me just bring
I actually would love.
I'm bringing my thoughts home. I beg you, Dr. Richardson. I will help you. Your inability to, support your party intellectually won't help you. Let me
I'm gonna have to leave.
One minute.
No, let me live. We have to grow. We have to
Let me wrap up. Yeah, but with distracting time, let me wrap up. I'm bringing it home. That version that the people are afraid of, the likes of Rawa Sirleaf, Wisner, Musa Belete, that version of the UP is found in the ANC. Look at those supporting Boyka. Mo Ali, for example, sportsman, who was here for 12 years. Nobody in the Ellen Lair government. Look at Amos Stewart, Secretary General, man who was relieved from his post for saying something about Madam Sirleaf's son. Who knew Luther Tappe? My own little sister, Conida Cry, talked about today. Who was she in the Ellen Lair government today, or face of the campaign of Boyka? So the UP that the Liberian people are afraid of for obvious reasons. I want to make it clear that it is in the ANC. Those guys have done what we call political image laundering. They went to the ANC to launder the political image because they have what?
Okay, guys, I'll see you guys later. Okay?
Thank you very much. We will talk more about this political image laundering later, but that the Liberian people know tonight that the version of UP that they fear is now in the ANC. Thank you. Have a happy 4th of July. It was nice being on here.
So who's controlling the show?
Dr. Richardson, she about to cut it off. She ain't got time. That
If nothing there,
I mean,
no,
we can postpone the show.
So the laptop,
Everybody got to talk at me
No,
because I can't
we can
finish.
postpone the show. I mean,
Yeah, we can postpone
definitely
the
there
show.
are some refutations I have to
Yeah,
make.
we need to protect.
I know.
yeah. So the
Everybody
host,
attempt to talk, I will have to end my
the
time.
host is
Amen.
in the background.
Let me go see
Yeah,
your
she in the
firework
back.
now.
The
No,
host is
no,
in
no.
the host
No,
is in the
Amen.
host
Y'all
is in the
know
background.
you are
Remy,
curious
Go
that
see your
Remy,
firework now.
No,
Remy,
yeah, create you and Anna covering at each other. You don't have the floor to
they
talk.
are
yeah.
curious.
We're not
Let's
going to get in
let's bring
that
some order.
that kind
Let's
of
bring some
that
order.
kind of
Let
conversation.
get Hassan Fadiga to
If
speak.
the host is
Thank
the
you
host
at
there,
the corner.
Let get Hassan Fadiga to speak.
So we can
Remy
close.
Gray will speak. Johnny will speak. And then
nobody
we
said they
will
were
speak.
closing. Everybody can speak because I have not finished. She said I cannot
Well,
finish
already
because
finished
they
No,
got
we're
to
closing,
closing. What I need, Mepe, we're making closing comments. So I think
and I only spoke one time, so can I
So you're
get
not
done?
going to celebrate now.
Close and you're close.
no, the reason is the show was already ended.
You're not going to celebrate now.
No, my man. We either cut out the show or I continue because I haven't spoken not even for 2 minutes. You know,
You get grandma too.
Miss Gona, you just spoke.
No, I haven't finished. You saw her.
Remy, you be here for 4 hours. They still want
Nobody stop you from coming.
Nobody stop you. You are late comer. You should come
Nobody
early.
stop you from coming.
No, Connor Gray, stop.
No, you should come
No,
early.
Hassan Fadiga, you get 2
I
minutes
can
to
guarantee
close.
that the AMC is the one that will pick you guys from power.
And Fatiga, can you yield one?
I yield my minute to you. Go ahead, my sister.
Good.
All right. Thank you very much. So
No,
what I was saying,
Alpha Liga were going around. So let's close, then she can always close last.
No, Alpha Liga has given you time to her
I gave
already.
him my time to hold. Let go.
Exactly.
Which
Let's
time,
go
your
ahead.
time?
Yes,
Alpha Liga has given her the 2 minutes, so let's go ahead.
Alpha Liga, you are the moderator. You can't give her time. You don't have a time.
no, he's not a moderator.
Alpha Liga has.
He's not. He got it too close to minutes.
He presides
Alpha
over
Liga
the
has 2
Tell
minutes.
her how presiding over the Senate.
Alpha Liga has 2 minutes.
No. He's not a host for this show.
Exactly.
The woman had a reason she had to leave.
Go ahead, Mappy. Go ahead, Mappy. Alpha Liga has 2
You
minutes.
ready to compare on like matters again?
No. What you call like matter?
But let me tell you something.
A vice president and a vice president, and you say on like matter?
Let me be talking about different kinds of government. You're talking about Hitler government and democratically elected government. Hitler government will never be compared with government.
It can be.
I have Fatiga time to talk.
A mayhem is a mayhem.
Mappy, you have the time to talk.
Then protect me, gentlemen.
You are protected.
Thank you, Mr. Mame. Let me tell you something. I will say again, it's not comparable. The government of Adolf Hitler to compare that with Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf government is a service to the people of Liberia. We cannot be compared, and in such a league. So the version of the Unity Party that the people of Liberia fear, they assess other places. Some of them in the CDC. Madam Mary Brown, where is she today? Is she with Joseph Boyka, a woman who they send a car together and say she's non-governmental material? So yes, do the people have some apprehension about the Unity Party? But those are not the guys with Ambassador Boyka today. As much as he intends to unite the country, let us not play politics. It is so sad that our people are laughing at the fact that someone serves government and does not have excess money. Yet and still you frown at government officials for corruption. Seriously? So when people serve political offices, they should steal money so that today or tomorrow they should have money because it is expected of them? How much is the salary for those jobs? I know when I was assistant minister of making $11.35, and we used to call it Jesus wept, $1,135. You will not leave rich because, we used to laugh because anytime Jesus heard my pay, he wept. The government is not a place to go and enrich people overnight. So because this man was a vice president for 12 years to assist the president, you expect him to have a bank We need to stop that thinking among our people. Now, when it suits us, then we play that kind of politics. Because at the end of the day, people go to public service and say, let me steal, let me take this from there. That's not how it works. We need to make a change. And I want us to know, on a very serious note, as Brother Mo Ali said, I don't think we're in a race to be attacking each other. We're in this race because we're against an incumbent government. And let me tell you something. We need to focus on those things the government are doing and that they are failing to do. For the ANC, I know you may want to get to the second round, but the logical way to get to the second round is to eliminate the CDC because we are ahead of them in polls. You cannot overtake take the first car when you are in a 3-car race. They have to eliminate the CDC to make it with the second round, to make it to the second round with us. So we cannot be your target. In good faith, if you want to make it to the second round, your target should be the CDC. Our common target here is the CDC. We're going to need each other. If by some magic, and way the ANC by Madam Salif tap connections and you make it to the second round, and for some reason we are not the ones there, who are you going to come to? You're going to start reaching
Maybe
to
you can wrap it on now, right?
Yeah, so and that goes to the same with the Grace Crown family. So our common target here is the CDC. Let us keep it that way. Let us not get here to show who have intellectual powers to attack each other. The country is at a critical role, and I know that come October 10, the people of Liberia have to win. We have to fight for that, and the only way they can win is through Ambassador Joseph Yima Boyka.
Thank you, my pet. Remy.
All right. Firstly, I think we're in an elimination round of this tournament. People should understand what day it is. When people keep, telling us that, hey, don't focus on us, focus on the other guy. They don't know the stage of the tournament. This is knockout. Definitely, anybody in the race contending for the presidency is a target to everyone in the race. Clearly, elimination rounds. When we advance to the second round, then you can negotiate your way out of that second round. So, yes, like any other political party, the Unity Party, and this idea that other parties don't measure up to you, we agree. You've been around for a while. You're probably one of the oldest organizations in the game. But that speaks to your archaicness even to raise money. And I can guarantee you, if the Unity Party would go to a rally yesterday to raise money, it's because the ANC, you understand, set the standard so high for them. And look, this is a party without ideas. That's why the Unity Party continues to struggle in every sphere. Why would you be blaming Madam Salif that she was not meant to be part of the Unity Party for life. She wasn't meant to be that way. And you know what? If you continue to blame people because of your failure, definitely you don't have the ability to even muster that courage to re-strategize and win. That's why we say you can't give Liberians what you don't have. If Ambassador Buckeye served 40 years in a particular job and he was not able to raise the wealth that he was supposed to raise as an individual, he does not have that skill set to transfer for Liberians to be wealthy or for the country to transform from this poor state. So I don't even buy that idea that he's a savior, is this and is that. Ambassador Buckeye is simply out of idea, and he does not even have the capacity to even control his own political organization. And I'll rest here before I take on Miapa Gona maybe tomorrow if we come on the show. But I think she's talking about comparing two online terms. Let me tell you something. The vice president to Adolf Hitler was a vice president. That they ran a government. That whole mayhem against a group of people. The Unity Party did the same. They ran a government that whole the wealth of Liberian at their own detriment. Today we got CDC because of that same Unity Party. We're not going to be going back to Unity Party. Those are not the only two political parties in our political landscape. We have others, and that's why we're standing up.
Thank you. Mo, you can just
Mami,
close up. Then
can I close up quickly?
Yeah, you close up, then I will close up.
Yeah, so I will start off with Remy Gray. Apparently, sometimes Remy can be talking and he can forget that he's talking. You have Madame Salif on your side. We don't want her support. We don't want her. But you are equating the same Madame Salif to Adolf Hitler. I don't understand how you craving for a woman's support and you equating her to Adolf Hitler. By logic and by inference, when you compare Joseph Boakai to Adolf Hitler's vice president, then you are equating Madame Salif to Adolf Hitler. Number two, Boakai worked for 40 years in a particular place and he was not able to raise wealth. True. Because Boakai is not a rogue. Boakai did not go to work in government to raise wealth. Boakai worked in government to serve Liberian people. But you know, consistently, Remy Gray, you and the ANC, when you say this thing, what you are telling the Liberian people is that Mr. Cummings and you and the rest of the ANC are scrambling, yearning to come to government to accrue personal wealth and not to build this country. This is sad coming from somebody who speaks for Mr. Cummings every day. My brother, nobody comes to government to raise wealth. Ambassador Boakai lives comfortably. He has properties that he lives on. He doesn't need government money. And you know, I was shocked recently when we were listing his assets to care to neck. And then you say the Unity Party is struggling for a party in the current dispensation that is the oldest. And that party continues to remain the front runner in presidential elections. Then you say the party is struggling. My brother, you need to go define struggle. When we say, for example, coming struggle to get a running mate, that is struggle. But a party that is the front runner, you say they're struggling, okay, we won't be struggling like that. Don't worry about it. He said, come and set the stage for fundraising. He said, we'll get raise fund. We'll go raise fund again. Then he said, that come and set the stage. So ever since people been raising fund in the country here for their political activities, for their political campaign, that coming was raising that fund. That coming can set stage for fundraising. You know why you can run away to go America to go in one lake corner to raise fund? Because I bet you when you try here, you will not even get $5. We were able to raise more than $100,000 US right here in Liberia. Tells you how vibrant and the level of support that we have. But like I said from the beginning,
Moale, I don't believe that figure is not true.
Eba, like I'm closing now.
You're a liar. You're
Cynthia was saying, you can count with your own no more. You're just a 200,000-300,000. Nobody complains.
Mo is a consummate liar.
No, let Mo conclude so we can end the show.
So like I said from the beginning, you are a distraction. And we will not mind that distraction. We will keep our focus on the tragic that has happened to this country, the CDC. And they are the one we want to rescue the country from. Now you got nothing to offer in this race. Thank you.
So thank you, Mo. So for me, my closing, I will close on the ANC and their tacit dealings. You can work with Ellen in the night and Sean Hall in the day. That's a point we need to stress. The reason why I'm concerned about this with the ANC and the CPP is I'm wondering how many other people in the darkness is Kumi working with that we will see over there if he becomes president. That's my point of concern. If Ellen can call Nyombli and DeLong and say, I want you to support and be a VP to Alexander Kumi, it tells you the extent to which she is involved with his campaign and desire to be president, which is her right. Like she said before, she supported Joseph Boakai. She announced it, she supported Joseph Boakai. That's her right. If she supports Cummings, it says she supports Cummings, given the recent evidence from DeLon that was confirmed by Musa Belete, what is it that they are hiding? Why is it they keep it in the darkness? It makes some of us worry. Who are the other people in the darkness that this Cummings man is working with to become president? That's a point to ponder over. And that's the reason why I decided to close on that note. Thank you.
All right, gentlemen. See you guys. Definitely we'll answer some of those questions. We'll address some of those issues, Mr. Mami. You know, he's hiding, but yet he's calling, she's calling two people declaring a support for someone. That's not hiding.
No, but she didn't call them publicly.
No,
and Cummings have not been able to say publicly.
Whether privately or publicly, she calls them.
Okay.
And it's a known fact, so you know it, my brother. But then we'll talk about it, man.
Oh, so you confirming now that Ellen supports Cummings?
Oh yeah, if Ellen supports Cummings,
so you saying if again?
I don't know. I don't know.
Talk another time.
I don't know, my brother. I don't know. If I know, I will tell you. I don't hide stuff.